against Falcons. Quinn, the pick's not drastically different to what we might have expected to see on the previous patch, but at least in the play, we might see some change-ups. You know, map's a bit different. There's some different neutrals. We might get some crazy stuff in the action. We didn't really get it in the draft, though.
Yeah, no, draft roughly similar. I think I'm curious to see how Potom looks and how the Slark 4 looks. Now, there's different things. Slark, the most interesting hero that's been picked, different, gets the pounce level 1 while also having Essence Shift, so maybe is considerably stronger in lane, not just a wave-pulling bot. We'll have to see. Also curious to see if no one goes for the E-Blade, and if so, when.
He's going to walk straight into them.
That pounce!
They got him here. He's going to try and jump away, but the blood grenade's down upon him, and he's gone. Skeeter's dead. First blood for DM.
He would not have died last patch. He would not have gotten pounced. They would have hit him blood grenade, and he would have walked away and jumped away. Now Skeeter starts the lane with Earthshock instead of Fury Swipes, so maybe not exactly what he wanted. And first blood, always a very, very big deal for these lanes.
Hanging around here to see if they can maybe find something extra.
The pounce!
Another pounce! They're going to get themselves another.
Slark is broken. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Try it in your pubs. It's broken.
Yeah, there we go. Wasn't quite close enough to get the permanent agi on the first kill, 9 class, but did get some permanent agi from that one, taking down Snaking. See if he can keep this up. I mean, obviously, if anyone is going to show how potentially good the Slark is on this new patch, it would be 9 class. He was doing this way before it was cool, and we saw it. I think even on the last series they played, right? That was literally the last series PARIVISION played on the last patch. They ended with some Slark support here. First series on the new patch, they're starting it off with some Slark support, and maybe better than ever.
I think so. I think the change, especially for support, while you don't have some of that vision early game, so dewarding at the start is worse. Having that extra kill thrown in lane is a really, really big deal, and hard to overstate how much it does. Also, something that may seem small but will have little bits of impact is branches being more expensive. Messes with item builds a little bit at the start of the game. Players probably still have not figured that out yet, so in terms of starting inventories and these types of things will be different. Maybe that alters how lanes go a little.
No, absolutely. I mean, the lane setups, as we're seeing so far, just the moment, it's going to be the offlanes on a slightly slower start. I mean, you know, to sort of objectively look at the drafts, and I know it's hard to do so because the patch has had these changes here and there. Do you sort of prefer how someone's come into this on this first game?
I think I actually prefer PARIVISION. I think this sniper pick is a bit weird. Like, it's not a good sniper game. That's another kill.
Absolutely, that's another stack there. Permanent agi, 4-9 class. Definitely having a good time with this. And you know, just to go over it again for any of the viewers who didn't manage to read all the patch notes, well, the key sort of summary about Slark, right, as you're alluding to, is that the essence shift is now your innate, but that does mean you can no longer sort of dip into the shadows and get the regen, right? Because that's now back to just being tied to having your ultimate skilled.
Yep, exactly.
So, which does obviously matter a little bit, right, as a support, because you've got to bring the regen out for yourself, right? You can no longer sort of trade a little bit, back off, and then be able to trade again. And 100%. You can't find those wards early.
It is definitely a different play style.
Yeah.
But I think it still gives you, once you get to the 6, you still get all the tools you got before.
Yep.
But you get a little more kill threat and a little more aggressive potential in lane. So it's just a different style. And we'll have to see it, like, over time if it looks good or not. I'm interested to see how this mid matchup plays out over time, because Void Spirit is very bad against Sniper in lane. Void Spirit, stereotypically a very weak laner, and Sniper a very strong laner. But in the game, it's quite bad for Sniper because you just can't kill this guy. He just gets on top of you.
See, bottom lane, Satanic and Ducalis, they're going to chase down Amar. And he's got some stick charges, Amar. They'll pop him, but it's not going to matter. Well, still ends up going down there to the chase down of the two of them. And Amar dead. But yeah, to sort of go back to the Void Spirit as well, I mean, we were sort of mentioning this earlier at the start of the show. Would you imagine that we will just see no one go for this E-Blade build now that E-Blade is much better to buy on these sort of core Magic Nuke mids?
It's very possible, but I'm not sure when he's going to buy it exactly.
Sure.
I don't think you can buy it first. Buying Ultimate Orb first is a bit ridiculous, so maybe he'll go for the Urn into it. Maybe he'll buy the Vessel, maybe he'll buy a Kaya. We'll see what route he goes exactly. So he is definitely facing some pressure mid. Aurine has taken scatter shot, so there is quite a bit of kill potential mid if no one's not careful. He takes a few too many pot shots, can get double shrapnel and die very easily. As he's starting to pull away a little bit on Sniper, and this is kind of expected. It's just a tough lane. They picked it into this for the game, right? So they picked this Void Spirit because it's a good Void Spirit game, not because it's a good Void Spirit lane.
No,
very
absolutely.
much to the contrary.
Now top lane, 9 class. He wants to try and get himself another one at the stacks, and he's gonna find it.
That's a solo kill.
And 1v sort of 2 as well. He might pay for this one. Skeeter chasing him down. We'll be able to get him, but of course 9 class, he'll be. It's worth. He's getting permanent agi again. He's having a great time.
He's got the glove of haste going straight for the treads. He's saying, I got all these kills at the start of the game. I'm going to play the carry now, and he may be right. PARIVISION, there's no kill potential around mid whatsoever. He is going to look for it, but I don't think they're messing with this guy. Sniper a bit too strong, and no points in the queue on Malrine. I'm going to try.
Let's have a look.
Okay, he's just dead. I'm totally wrong. That's crazy.
They just destroy him.
What? Dude, I totally underestimated. This new Slark is, it's actually wild. It's a 2.75 second leash. You would never see anything like this before.
Bottom lane. They will lose to Carlos here, so Falcons able to strike back a little bit. Satanic's also super low. His last few nukes, though, not enough to kill him. Amar was looking towards him, but won't be able to close the gap and set up. But yeah, big kill for PARIVISION to find in the mid, and quite an, and this game will be very impactful as well for future drafts against PARIVISION, right? Because if indeed this 9 class Slark continues to dominate, it was obviously the first pick. It's then going to be for the rest of this series and for the rest of the tournament, you have to go back to sort of thinking, do we have to just first phase ban Slark against PARIVISION?
100%. Oh boy, Sniper dies again.
Pounce is not going to connect, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. They'll kill him off anyway.
My goodness.
And Crit also likely to be in trouble. 9 class trying to get in range. Doesn't want to dive to tier 2, so Crit will be able to walk away, but yeah, this is, it feels like it's getting a little out of hand in terms of at least how much 9 class is finding on his Slark in this early game. Sure, we can see overall on the net worth, they are keeping it even across the lanes. You know, it's not like they're falling behind too much in gold, but those sort of back-to-back deaths on the mid from Malrine, it's definitely going to hurt.
It really will, and Sniper is not a hero that got significant buffs, and also a hero that wasn't particularly good beforehand. It was always picked as a specific counter to certain things, and they picked it blind in a game that's not a very good Sniper game.
Skeeter is going to try and go for the wisdom, but backup's coming in. This is very risky from Skeeter, as he is dead for that one. Same time, they're able to make the move over here. Satanic gets the double kill. He's even threatening snaking as well. Finally, backup comes in from Malrine, so they will be able to shoot down Satanic, but not before he picked up a couple of kills himself. Just as you can see across the map, PARIVISION just getting these favorable trades in terms of kills.
The one bottom, definitely a bit of a mixed bag. Venomancer will get a lot of XP out of this, and they do get the Wisdom Shrine, so unnecessary couple of lives thrown away for Falcons. You can't give that double Wisdom Shrine away. Slark would get the 6 way too quickly. He's already level 5 and involved in 7 kills at 7 minutes on 9 class alone.
That's pretty crazy. And 6 permanent agi already as the support Slark roaming the map.
He's cooking in a big way. No one is decided to go for the urn at a minimum. So the opts for afterward.
Satanic sort of trapped in there by the creeps. Just going to have backup coming in, so Falcons have to start backing away. 9 class coming in from the side. Doesn't quite connect the pounce onto Skeeter, so Falcons will be able to escape this time. But very much seeing, Falcons, they do respect the potential of PARIVISION in these early fights. They don't want to get caught in anything that they can't get away from.
I mean, this is a pretty bad rotation from Skitter. It's a bit optimistic. Top lane went so poorly that he couldn't really lane. The lane was up by the tower.
9 class trying to start things on to Crit. Can't do it alone. They've got the wraparound coming in from no one, and he's got a haste rune, so they'll be able to dive in under the tower and finish off the job to take down Crit.
Skitter, he's level 5, just running around. No one is farming top lane. DM did gate back. Now Skitter TP's back top, but loses a lot during this time. Now the lowest net worth core. And Satanic, not an easy hero to gank. They spend a lot of resources, a lot of time trying to make a move here, but there's no move to be found. And now you see the issue developing for Falcons where it's not easy for them to make kills happen.
top lane. And not going to be able to get the chance to close the gap. And towards DM. And in the mid, they'll find themselves a chance to pick off Takalis here. Crit able to set up around Maureen. Now they've gone for that one. Unlikely they're going to be able to threaten no one immediately afterwards. So should be fine on the Void Spirit to sit back in the mid lane.
It is only the level 1 silence, but they may look to poke him here. Chipping Void Spirit down is not the worst thing in the world. They're looking for the angle, but not finding it yet.
He's got sort of backup coming in. TPs as well as the fact that DM's making his way back over to the mid. They want to try and contest the 10-minute power rune.
I don't like this. I don't know if I like this TP either from DM. That's 2 TPs in a row. TPs to bottom.
I mean, they've got the whole team here. This is the full 5-man of PARIVISION coming in on the mid for this move, and they're not going to get the kill. This time, 9 class, he's going to get punished, gets taken down. Falcons, they might even be able to get more. As Satanic's borrowed time comes to an end, the arena will be popped down to try and hold them back. Satanic falling low. Skeeter comes in with the TP. Can he close in to get this kill? The shield's back up. Skeeter, he wants to try and dive for this. Won't be able to continue. As the space at least will be there.
Why the heck did he ult?
For the Abaddon to escape.
The whole squad is turning up here. This game is crazy.
But literally, it was full 5 mid from both teams there. You know, PARIVISION, they came in with a 5-man, and then Falcons, they responded, were able to push back and ensure that PARIVISION didn't get away with that aggressive move, and it does end up in PARIVISION being the ones to lose their tier 1 tower.
And PARIVISION making some mistakes. I think these 2 TPs from DM were really costly. Lost a lot of economy and lost a lot of pressure in the meantime. Reacting to some of Falcon's moves a bit too much. I think when you're in a position of dominance like that, keeping your own pressure going, dictating your own tempo. PARIVISION getting sucked into some of these fights. Maybe a little bit of jitters in the new patch. Giving some of that lead back the other way after a pretty dominant first 8 minutes or so from PARIVISION.
Yeah, they were getting the kills earlier, but as we saw, never really making a huge sort of net worth advantage. It stayed pretty even on the gold throughout all this chaos. Falcons happy to farm away. Maureen, of course, going for the Ags Rush. He's halfway there.
It's an interesting deviation from sniper builds of old, but a good one, I think. Allows you to play aggressive and be more normal mid-hero.
Moonlight coming out here from PARIVISION. Unlikely to get a surprise move on to Falcons. They know what's up. Skeeter and Snaking playing cautious in the trees. Arena is back up for DM if they do want to try and set some sort of move up. 9 class getting a nice snipe down. Snaking's courier will take away the arcane boots that he had coming out. Falcons now looking towards DM. DM's going to opt straight for the TP out, but the assassinate comes in. Very nicely done there from Maureen. They absolutely needed his presence to ensure that kill. He's in the right place at the right time.
That was super clutch. Not sure where the communication came from, but knowing that they need to assassinate kill. This is very much a game of cat and mouse. No team can really force that much stuff. Satanic's still quite far from the Radiant, so he's not super strong. Sniper is a hero. Can't really overextend too much. Centaur is farming it up, and so it's a lot of the other heroes looking at micro positioning changes on lanes. Are they up slightly too far? And DM, he crossed that invisible line and he pays for it. Wastes his TP as well and went from having 2 kills at the start of lane and a great beginning to his game to now bottom net within the cores, running out of base, doing the walk of shame.
Now looking at some of the neutrals, we are, of course, having some of the newer neutrals come into play here. We've got no one taking the weight to Dice. And as I was saying to you earlier, I feel that this just conceptually, if you're playing a core, or even, yeah, if you're someone hitting last hits and getting gold, you're going to want to get this right. This has got to be pretty top tier, the weighted dice, because it's literally giving you slightly more gold. And even as small as that might be, even a little bit can make a difference.
It does seem pretty decent. Also, you'll do slightly more damage. And in general, the tier 1 items and neutral items in general, a lot of them have been nerfed overall. A lot of the strongest ones were taken out, and the ones they put in were not super strong, so every little bit helps. Correct me if I'm wrong, the one DM's taken, this doesn't do anything for him, does it?
Let me have a look. Ash Legion's Shield. Reduce your own movement speed by 12 to provide a 140 physical damage barrier to all friendly player-controlled units in an 800...
It's just summons, right?
He doesn't, yeah, he doesn't have any player controlled. Well, does the hero itself also count as a player controlled unit, so it gives it to himself?
Maybe?
I think it must do, right?
I mean, otherwise it does nothing.
Yeah, which I feel would be weird. So I think it gives it to you and anything else you control.
Okay.
We'll see when he presses the active. But I feel like it must, otherwise indeed that... you're absolutely right. He's taking something that absolutely doesn't work. And I'd imagine DM is probably someone who got some games in on the patch day. So it must, you know, give it to you and everything else you control. Otherwise, indeed, it will do nothing.
Yeah, we'll find out.
We will. I mean, obviously, got it maybe for the lore as well. It's very hero accurate, right? For the Mars to take the Ash Legion shield. I'm sure that's related in the lore somehow. So I think likely, yeah, it gives it to him as well. So he should be getting that 140 physical barrier. Well, we'll see. Yeah, he'll press in the fights. And we'll see if he gets that barrier. See if that makes a difference.
Now some of these towers being opened up, and Sniper, if you're not really far ahead, has trouble pushing the advantage. They also have Ursa on their team, who's going to be farming. Centaur, similar boat. So Falcons, I think, very sort of static gameplay, holding their areas, not extending out too far, as they don't really have the best heroes at actually holding enemy heroes, especially against Slark in nighttime.
Yeah.
The day and night cycle is a huge part of this hero's strengths and weakness. And at night is a different beast than in the day. Sees so much, runs around the map, gives so much vision. So Falcons is going to be playing scared for a while, I think, and just farming up.
Slowly creeping ahead. PARIVISION, and that's probably only going to continue when this Radiance is done. Which it is. It's on the way out for Satanic.
It's a very solid Abaddon game. Lots of spells to dispel. Ursa versus Abaddon, not the worst matchup in the world. I think it's pretty two-sided in a lot of ways. Radiance has been slightly nerfed, but still very good.
See if they're going to catch him. See if they've got the burst. They certainly do. Bringing him down low. He's actually able to get the Hoostomp out. Actually, never mind. They don't have the burst. He's away. Amar gets out of this. DM tries to TP out, but the Assassinate comes in. DM's dead. And they'll look to try and take out 9 class as well, and they'll succeed. My goodness, they threw everything there at Amar, and it was not enough. He lives throughout it all. They turn and take the 2 kills themselves, Falcons.
That's crazy. I cannot believe he lives there.
That is wild.
And this is how they have to play. They can't make aggressive plays of their own, so they need to be super ready and very, very quick to respond to these moves. And you see them on the ball there. This is a high execution situation for Falcons. Even after that, they're still down a little bit of gold, so they're going to need to keep making these good plays. They're still not in a position yet where they can do too much aggressively until probably they have this Ursa blink online. Centaur blink, doesn't even have queued up right now. But he will have the pipe, so in these fights, PARIVISION, look at their heroes. It's mostly magic damage. There's some right clicks from Abaddon, but for the most part, it's magic. So Falcons, after that bit of a whoopsie there from PARIVISION, they will be much more ready for these upcoming battles.
I mean, they're ready to go now with the Ags on Maureen. A lot of burst damage. They're going to get the opening on towards no one. Mystic Flare to follow up. They've got him. See 9 class try and jump in and look towards the Venom. He's not going to be able to finish him on his own, and now he's caught by the Hoostomp. Suddenly, things starting to fall apart for PARIVISION. That rough move bottom now into these quick plays from Falcons in return. Marin, he's ready to get the show going here with that Aghanims online, and it catches no one completely by surprise.
It does. He was going for the Yules and had it in base, but doesn't get it in time. The Skywrath Silence punishes him.
Oh, look at this. They're just sniping out kills to the side. They find Ducalis. PARIVISION, they've got to bring something together here because they're getting sort of picked apart one by one. DM will drop the arena on towards Crit, but Crit, he's still alive. Finally, they get him, but it takes a while. The Satanic's borrowed time gets forced out. He's going to try and chase down Skeeter. Skeeter still has the enrage to rely on. If they do chase him further, they won't manage to do so. 9 class, he'll find Snaking out in the river. See if he can finish off the job. He might not be able to because Amar's here to back Snaking up. And again, yeah, they can keep Snaking alive. Snaking, he's fine. They'll turn their attention over towards the Centaur. This time round, they can burst him. He's not going to get to run this time, Amar. So Amar will pay with his life there. Now PARIVISION have actually managed to force it back into a position where they're the ones that are standing in the pit. And no one, he wants to make sure they can punch him out of that. There's a beautiful jump up to the high ground. Great angle with the spear there as they clip Maureen across towards the trees. He's going to be able to jump back, tries to get the ult off, but the burst comes through from Satanic and no one to bring Maureen down. And now it's PARIVISION picking apart Falcons. They chase down Snaking. The spear not going to quite reach, but he's ticking down to the vessel. He's dead. A lot of back and forth in this game. 15-13, and I feel like we've barely seen a team in this first 20 minutes coming up get even more than like 1K to 2K ahead. This is pretty much as close as it gets.
And this is what's so fun about new patches. I'm not even sure if this is supposed to be the way the game is being played out, but when the patch hits, you just kind of want to fight more. That's just how it feels. You want to get in there, you want to test things, and you want to fight. You don't want to sit there and farm, right? You've been reinvigorated with passion for the game, and I think that's why it's so much fun. 9 class with the Yules now as well. They've got the triple Yules on PARIVISION, so full kiting mode. This Ursa is going to have a really hard time interacting in these team fights until he has a BKB, because he's just going to keep getting Yuled. There's a Mirana ult to kite, a Baden shield to purge off his slows. There are a lot of tools on PARIVISION to fight these skirmishes as well. Their draft is built around that Slark Void Spirit.
I mean, with all these kills going on, and of course assists as well, you know, obviously in these patches, I mean, you as a player as well, and you read them, and you see stuff like assist gold formula reworked, and it's like plus this, minus this, times this by this square root. Do you read that and you work out, like, does that change how you play the game? Like, it's one of those teams, they got like a mathematician that sat there and been like, assists are better, or assists are worse, so we got to do this more.
That is definitely a thing. I think those are the changes that the pro teams pay the most attention to.
Oh, really? Okay.
The numbers like that. I mean, you're basically just scanning, looking for something that is really, really OP, that like maybe slipped under the radar for some reason, right? I mean, I don't think those gold changes matter that much. I think it basically just means that assist gold is slightly better early and maybe slightly worse later.
It does indeed work out to that, because long story short, there was a flat amount before the division by number of heroes that was 60, and now the flat amount is less before the division part, and the majority is shifted into the division part. So it's now 15 is the flat amount, and then like 50. So in a total is 65, but obviously that 50 now is in the part of the equation that gets split between, I don't know.
From my reading, it looked like assists are better early.
Yeah, I think that is what the maths is suggesting. See around the mid. Satanic and DM, they do get their hands on towards Maureen. This sniper's looking to be in trouble. Maybe not, though. The save comes in. Amar's able to put the stampede. Maureen's going to be fine for now. No one tries to jump on towards him. Gets him with the remnant and the dissimulate. It's not enough to kill him. Maureen's still alive. They're desperately trying to bring him down. Jump forward here from DM. They will finally be able to finish him, but can they get out? 9 class being chased down by Skeeter Amar, and Snaking the pounces up. He's up to the high ground. 9 class gets away.
See ya, haters.
I'll say that Skeeter's continuing to chase.
Never mind, the haters got him.
He won't get away for long. Indeed, they will. The brawling continues here. 2 for 2. Falcons, though, still with that position of the Aegis being in the hands of Skeeter. So they can look to go for more. I mean, it's obviously super hard to tell, but, you know, who is having the better time here? Like, are you looking at the fact that even though overall the gold difference is pretty close, when you look at the carries, Satanic is continuing to creep further and further ahead, and they might just find him something else to get involved in here. DM gets the setup. Spear into Arrow. Got Rebuke as well. Amar, look for the Houston. Lovely little man to dodge there from Satanic. Allows him to dodge the stun, finish off the kill. And then with plays like that, as you can see, that difference continues to grow between these carries, Quinn.
It does, and that's a really unexpected death from Amar. He's under the tier 2 tower, farming in a bit of a silly way. When on earth do you see Amar as one of the lowest net worth heroes in the game? Almost never happens, especially on a hero that farms as fast as Centaur.
Yep.
I think he was meant to be somewhat of the difference maker this game, as he's the aura buying offlaner. In PARIVISION, they don't really have one, so there could have been a tankiness sort of differential here. But when you fall behind in gold like this, Centaur can absolutely become a completely useless blob. He doesn't really do any damage. It's difficult to use his stun. He is very much press pipe and hope his team carries. So it was the first pick. Hero nerfed very slightly, but not in a significant way. Still absolutely a powerful hero. But little things do add up. Death here, a death there. The Dom is only gives you half gold when you steal the creep now, so that adds up over time.
How much is that going to change how much the Dons picked up, do you think?
Probably not at all.
No?
But it will hurt the heroes that buy it slightly.
Sure.
The heroes that buy it kind of still need to buy it. They're buying it for a reason. They need the HP regen, the gold helps them a lot, etc. But it will hurt.
Talking about some of the neutrals back in the game as well. Do have Skeeter, he's managed to find himself the Defiant. Is always one of the favorites, right? If you're again, any sort of right-clicking carry or core.
It's good. It's one of the few neutral items that is just good. Like when you look at it, it's like, oh,
it's just nice.
This is because most of the neutral items are about the enchantment, to be honest. Most of them are not that strong, but this one is solid, and Satanic takes it as well.
Night Class straight with the Shadow Dance TP, but in comes the grenade into the Assassinate. They'll get him through it.
It's a nice kill. You don't want to smoke and come up empty-handed from it, but Falcons, you see now, they're going into the BKB. Skitter's got his, and Mallory going for his, so it's going to be very much a game of kiting for PARIVISION. The pipe, the 2 BKBs, you're probably not killing people through that. We already touched on the magic damage component of their lineup, so it'll be very much in and out long fights for PARIVISION. And for Falcons, I think you want to kill them a little bit faster. You don't want to get kited so much, have those BKBs be wasted, because the more time that passes in these fights, Slark builds up, Abaddon keeps slowing you down, and Void Spirit keeps getting those spells off. Say that, Malrine.
It's a bit of a vulnerable spot here. They get the angle straight away for the jump. There's no saving the sniper.
That's a bad death.
I guess didn't sort of anticipate that sort of fast move to come out, or?
Yeah, I think
what's going on there?
You just didn't expect they would be so close to the mid-tier 2, but Sniper in these mid-games, this hero is, he starts to fall off a little bit.
No one. Ready to sweep over to the bottom lane, see what he can find.
Ooh, wasted the Yules.
See if they can punish him for that. It looks like they can. They just dropped the Mystic Flare. He's gone. Indeed, with the Yules used aggressively to hold back Amar, no one had no way to save himself, and now he's sort of dragged DM into a tough situation where he's ending up dead as well.
This is a messy game.
He's getting question marked here, or someone is. Oh no, okay, Satanic's questioning why Malrine tipped Satanic. Okay. What is going on? Why did Malrine tip Satanic there?
I don't know. Maybe he's like, why aren't you there?
I think, honestly, that's the best kind of tips. That's the smart tips. You don't tip the person that just died. You tip the person who you think the person who just died is having comms with and saying, bro, why aren't you there? So that you then completely fuel the hatred within the ranks of the team between one another. It's a high-level tip there from Malrine, and it worked. It got the question mark out.
Yeah, that is interesting. I've never seen Satanic respond to all chat like that.
That's when you know you've hit him with the tip,
I also feel like that might have... The thing is...
That was a top play, that.
That was high-skill tipping.
Yep, high
and
skill.
I'm curious if Satanic's the kind of player that sees it as like, I'll show you, or if he sees it and like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, oh, should I have been there? You know, did he get in his head, or did he fuel Satanic's fires? You have to go all Michael Jordan on the haters, or...
Oh, there we go, nice slow-mo replay there of the tip.
You've been tipped.
I guess that is the question as well. Should Satanic have been there? I don't think he should have, right? It seemed like a kind of a rough place to be anyway, or would that move have maybe worked out indeed if it was 3 of them?
Maybe it would have worked out, but I also don't blame him for not being there. I mean, to be honest, no one just miscast the spells really badly.
Dire are scanning.
They're going in with the new high ground.
Oh, Nine Glass, he's going to get blown up straight away. They'll get the arena out here onto the 3 of them. The spear coming through as well. They're taking out Crit. Amar, though, is going to get the chance to still get the Stampede off. Now they just turn towards Satanic. The borrowed time's out. Satanic will try and run, but Crit back in action here with the buyback will get the slow down on towards Satanic. Good little grenade there to stop the attempted TP out for no one. Assassinate comes in as well. They destroy the Void Spirit, kill off the Mars. Double kill for Skeeter. And just through the twin gate in time there. Ducalis will get away. Is anyone going to follow him through? They're not going to try. So Ducalis will live, but quick moves from Falcons. And I don't know, we saw that first attempt there from No One and DM look a bit awkward where they were running into the action. And then that one, they brought the numbers right. PARIVISION brought more, but it still seemed like a bit of an awkward spot to just sort of shove themselves into.
It was such a committal fight. You're all jumping. I mean, you know, we talked about it before this game happen. These shrines, they're on the low ground now. Contesting them on the enemy side is riskier than it was before. This position up above, they see them coming, and Falcons brings 5, and this is not the kind of fight that PARIVISION wants. They want the slow fights. They want to go in and out. This full committal, they're going to get blown up by the nukes of Falcons and the extra auras. They have the Greaves, they have the pipe. On PARIVISION side, only the Greaves. This stuff matters a lot. The extra tank ability from Falcons, they just don't die quick enough.
No. No, it's not easy to fight into this 5-man of Falcons right now, and we're seeing with each of those attempts to do so. You know, earlier in the game, whilst Satanic did have that kind of significant net worth lead against that of Skeeter, it's pretty much disappearing away. You know, with these skirmishes going on, Skeeter getting involved, coming out on top, he's starting to catch right back up to the Abandon's farm.
He is, and PARIVISION, their mid and off lane, that should be fine. Very much these spell damage heroes. And they have damage fall off. Void Spirit is going for the E-Blade, but it's so late now at this point. Is it really going to do much?
Skeeter just getting a freebie there, getting the jump on a Wars 9 class.
This is their new tech. They just tip people who weren't there.
I'm honestly surprised that teams haven't used the tips in such a way, or at least they don't seem to as much. You don't tip the person that's dead. He's already frustrated. You got to tip the people that aren't there when their teammate died. So you get that kind of combo of frustration.
Wombo combo of anger. You gotta spread the love, or the hate in this case.
There we go into the pit. With the Ursa, of course. Better taking time. What happened to Roche this patch? Did he get any love?
You lifesteal less against Roche.
Okay. That was pretty much...
I think that was it.
Well, there's actually a few.
Was there?
So the disarm debuff is no longer dispellable.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter too much, but it's something. And the slam just deals more damage to creeps. So if you have some creeps in the pit trying to do some stuff, they're going to get cleaned up.
Okay, so it's some brood, like it probably kills all the spiders now. So
yeah, because it's double damage. So it's already double the damage it was before.
Okay, so it definitely kills spiders. It probably kills boars. So yeah, it's not bad. It's never bad to make Roche tougher, I think. Up to a point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It does feel like, though, that
Dire are scanning.
Satanic may still be top net worth. Hello there. Is that a tilt pause? I gotta decompress and do some breathing exercises? It's not?
No. Well, there was no reason.
They didn't see anything. Yo, admin, hit him with a reason.
Hit him with the reason.
Any reasons in chat?
Does no one look tilted?
Not really.
No, I don't think he looks too tilted. Well, I think he's locked in.
No heckin' reason.
He's good to go. He's looking forward to getting to play with that new E-Blade that's about to be done. Just about 450 gold away. He's going to have that out here on the Void Spirit. But as you say, coming at a timing where it's not like we're going to see wham bam, a burst, an instant death on the enemy heroes on Falcons.
I don't think so. And Void Spirit didn't really get any buffs. It's just the E-Blade item. So up until this point, it's been the same hero that we've seen doing very poorly so far this tournament.
Yeah. No, the only buff. Ooh. In the river. They do find Snake King out on his own, and DM able to get the jump here onto the backlines as well. Catches crit in the arena. So the two supports getting taken down very quickly. Can they get one of the bigger targets? They look towards Amar. They have the Yule's control for now, but nothing to catch him on the way back down. They turn their attention over towards Maureen, though. He's going to try and go for the grenade. BKB TP plan. It's going to work. Very nice escape there from Maureen on the sniper, at least. And, you know, they do end up finding that chance actually on the side for Skeeter to get 9 class in return. So they lose 2 supports, Falcons. They get 1 kill in return. Big items coming out now from PARIVISION for the next move. That's the E-Blade done on no one. And they've also got that completed Bloodthorn on Satanic.
Big items for sure, and that's exactly how they want to fight. Find these supports, isolate heroes, pick people off. It's what your heroes are good at. You want to use your strengths. Don't give in to fighting on Falcons' terms. These open areas, middles of the map, open spaces and jungles, these are the types of areas they want to be. Near towers is bad news bears. So, good correction from PARIVISION.
There we go, smoke time from Falcons. Very much feeling if they can get the pick off, they don't need the full lineup to make this sort of play. It's just coming out between the two of them, Skeeter and Snake King. See what they can get here. They will have Satanic walking into the area. And on his own, they're going to try and turn him, see if they can burst him. They have the borrowed timeout super quickly, looking for the body blocks. Abyssal as well to control him, but he's able to get the blink off still with the remainder of the borrowed time. So Satanic will escape, walking into 3 of them.
I haven't mentioned this yet, but Ursa's new shard, pretty different. Doesn't have this infinite invincibility, but he does eat you alive. Extra Fury swipes,
yeah, that's
applying 3 of them. As soon as you press Q, you deal 120 damage per hit immediately.
Yeah, that's pretty...
It's quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess it's... Like, do you take that trade, or do you think the fact that you do lose that kind of, momentary invincibility does mean this is slightly worse? You know, like, if you can pick and choose, are you happy or not if you're an Ursa player?
I think it depends on the context. I can see some cases it being better and some it being worse. It doesn't feel that clear to me which is which.
We'll see some more kind of new items coming out as well soon. Maureen going for this Silver Edge, right? And we did have some changes coming through on Silver Edge. It's slightly cheaper. And now this big one is when you hit someone off it, you cap the target's move speed at 200. And you can't dispel it. It doesn't pierce debuff immunity, so if the BKB, for example, but 200 move speed cap is pretty brutal.
That is pretty big, to be honest. Hit the Sabaton, he is now stuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't afford to shield it off. At least according to the text, we'll always trust the text. See, back in the mid, talking about the Abaddon. He's going to get found here. See, 9 class seeing if he get a wraparound from the side. Looks like PARIVISION want to try and make a fight out of this one, but Amar's going to get the jump back in on Satanic. DM comes in with the arena. He's caught the 3 of them, but they don't really have to follow damage here, PARIVISION, to kill anyone that's in the arena. Snaking starts to get a little bit low. Will get sniped by the arrow, but as soon as no one comes down for the Yule Step, he's caught by the Abyssal Blade. Dissimulates back up, so he can jump away and look to get out of this fight for now. Amar tries to get the jump on the 9 class, but the Aphotic Shield's there to remove the Who Stomp. Satanic able to bail 9 class out momentarily. The dive continues though. The Moonlight Shadow and another heal coming in from the Mist Coil. 9 class will live. Now Skeeter's had to go pretty deep. Arrow off the mark. And catch on towards him, and Skeeter, he puts the BKB, they're ready to turn and just put everything into trying to kill off this Satanic Abaddon whilst he doesn't have to borrow time, and they get him. They bring the Abaddon down, but now Skeeter's BKB's come to an end. No one jumps in here with the Astral Step. They take out Skeeter in return. 9 class and DM look towards catching off the backlines as they attempt to escape. Crit gets caught. Amar momentarily caught by the pounce. There's the Remnant. They've got the drag back. Amar nowhere left to run. PARIVISION able to strike back. Here as the back and forth continues in this crazy, chaotic game. It's 26-26. Again, the gold difference just refuses to ever go beyond 3K at the maximum.
It really has not. And Falcons, they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Eyes bigger than their stomach. They thought they say a nice juicy worm, but instead, it was one of those like scary underwater fish things. They have like a little bait worm and then they eat you.
Well, like a Slardar, we don't have any in this game, but I think Slark sometimes has that as well with some of his cosmetic sets. But
it does.
And that sort of did happen there, right? They did put a lot into trying to kill 9 class. Good moves from Satanic, really, to just keep his support Slark alive as long as he did, to then ensure that if Falcons wanted to get these kills, they'd have to be diving pretty deep. And sure, they were able to kill off Satanic, but had to pay quite the price. Now 9 class is going to be even trickier to deal with. He's managed to treat himself to that nice big purchase of the Skadi, as he likes to do so here from his support Slark.
He will become a force to be reckoned with in this game if it continues to press on. It is a very good core Slark game. So this could become a problem for Falcons. Genuinely. Sniper, a hero that scaling can be very, very weird. Sometimes it can be strong, sometimes it can be weak. Depends so much on how the fight is taken. It's rarely black and white with this hero. Void Spirit has made it. He's made it past the weak stage. He's level 22. He's got a DD. He's got an Octarine on top of that E-Blade. He's now becoming a beast.
Let's see where they want to go from here. PARIVISION. They have that gold lead. Roshan, we'll see when that's back up in about 15 seconds. Oh, we got another new neutral. The Metamorphic Mandible. We were playing around with that earlier. Thoughts? Is strong this game?
Sometimes, sometimes not. Like, if Ursa jumps you, better not press this thing. But if Sky Earth ults, you can press it, and you probably don't take too much damage, so I can see it. It's not too bad. Respectable.
And the Idol of Skriok. 50% slow resistance. 25% evasion and phased movement. That's a big number.
This one is really good this game. Against Ursa, he jumps you just run away.
Yeah.
Can't be slowed. There's a lot of slows this game.
Rattle Cage. The Flayer's Bota.
What is a Bota?
It's a bogged Dota. Bota.
Bogged.
Bota 2.
Dire structures for diet are scanning.
That one is really good. That one's just good on carries. You see it? It's just damage and attack speed. What more could a girl want?
Yep. Get ready to press that. Stop doing the big numbers. There we go.
Oh, the Roshan icon looks a little different. He's like kind of silver with the gold ring around him. I like it.
They changed the design when they added also in that, of course, the Tormentor one as well. So you have a nice little indication of when to get that Tormentor.
Yeah, that's good. It was weird. Or
Nine class. Dark Pact in time. So, no one. It's out as well with the jump. They do get the chance to turn and blow up that illusion. The illusion gets got pretty good. Now Falcons, how are they going to look to take this fight? Last fight, of course, didn't go too hot for them. PARIVISION having that control, and DM, whilst did have some sort of slow moves at the start, these last few arenas have been pretty disruptive. Some good angles here from the Mars in the last team fights. So they can keep it up. Smoke now to come out from PARIVISION.
Crit's a bit out on his own. Does run away just in time.
Scanning. Dire's top tower
Did they
is
see
under
him there?
attack.
We've got no one trying to tease around with the Mar. BKB's going to come out for DM. He's going to try and get him. Mosquito's in on top of him with the Abyssal Blade. DM is going to survive, though. Gets the arena down. The Bashes continue to come in, but he's up in the air. He's able to survive that little bit longer. They couldn't quite kill the Mars. Finally, they'll get him, but it took quite a lot, and the buybacks had to come in now from Snake King. They look over towards 9 class. They get the Who Stomp, the silenced as well. He's gone. See if they can chase down more of Falcons. Bit of an opportunity, but one that's not going to continue. As the rest of them get out, PARIVISION. Roshan's open, Falcons able to head into the pit.
Impatience from DM. We've seen the formula for this game's fights and how it's good for them to go for PARIVISION, and that's not it. Jumping right into the middle of Falcons, getting almost 100 to 0 before he presses any spells.
Yeah, that was close. He nearly got nothing off there. He's lucky to do so. We'll see the pickups. We're going to get the Refresher Shard go the way of Amar. Ready for those double stampedes, double saves, of course, with the Aghanims. So a little bit of a swing back. Continuing to just show how close this game is. This really could still go anybody's way here in game 1.
It really could. One of the most unknown games I think I've seen in a while. I legit don't know who is supposed to win this game anymore. It just feels almost like it's purely down to execution. Like neither team is fully playing it 100%. I think because of the new patch, a little off, and people playing a little off makes for some very exciting Dota. Malrein's done the most damage, really? That shocks me.
But just considering what sort of like how high spam the supports are, and obviously how many times we've seen Skeeter get his claws stuck into someone. I guess, you know, these scatter shots and the assassinates throughout these fights, they really do add up from Malrein.
I guess so. Stats don't lie.
And you know, as you say, doing so with a build that's not, you know, it's no right-click build for sure. It's all about surviving, getting these angles to just poke and peep at them, and it's absolutely been working out for him in the last few fights here. They did get him a few times earlier, but it's getting to the point with the items as well on Falcons that they can protect their sniper and allow Malrein to do quite a bit from the edge of the team fight.
Speaking of Malrein, he's going for a Hex on Sniper. I have never seen this on Core Sniper, but I don't disagree with it. I don't think it's realistic for him to become a right-clicking core this game. He's against Mars, Slark, Void Spirit. He has to be the spellcaster in and out type of hero this game.
Yeah.
And rely on his Ursa and just the general tank ability. Falcons sort of playing into PARIVISION's style of teamfighting, because I think you can't force a round peg into a square hole. It was not going to end well for them if they just tried to have too many right clickers. It's too much kiting from PARIVISION, too much of that elusiveness. So they're also playing into these long fights. See, the Conda now on crit, he's very farmed.
Because I just summarized as well for you. What I'm with Conda, because I'm seeing a lot of text on that item.
I believe the build-up is just better.
Yeah.
And the item is the same, but it's just better because the build-up is better. So the stats aren't as horrendous. You're not buying as much mana. Buying mana is just terrible. Definitely the single worst stat in the game is flat mana. So the less of that, the better.
Hey, just 2 minutes left on it. Falcons. Are they actually able to push? As we see, they've managed to sort of take away that very slight gold lead that PARIVISION did have against them. Starting to drift back towards Falcons. Again, ever so close, and each and every team fight will tip the scales when it comes to that. Of how even this game feels right now. Next pick up there for Satanic. He has his nullifier complete. Of course, they wouldn't, I mean, I'll say they won't want to fight into the Aegis, but they are using the Moonlight Shadow. Maybe just to get some sort of information out on the map. 9 class, trying to get some vision. Of course, knows even if they do see him as they do, they have to put a lot of efforts into trying to catch out this Slark. Very slippery.
Skitter is 25, and he took the Earthshock, has 2 charges talent, so he can jump some guy and double clap them, and instantly they take extra 200 something damage per hit. After he then hits them 6 times on top of that, they're taking 400 something extra damage because of this new shard.
Falcons starting to posture a little more aggressive. They're getting up to the base now. PARIVISION. What's the plan here on the defense? Mark, he's into the trees. He's found the Hoostomp chance, but it's not going to have any follow-up, so no one's going to be fine. DM pops down the arena. They're caught by the Abyssal of Skeeter. 9 class starting to build up some of those stacks here towards Amar. Nobody able to get a real sort of grab onto one another. Both teams are fine. Pipe out now for the next fight on Ducalis. Have a jump in. Satanic getting caught by the break, but he'll put the BKB immediately. They try to throw everything on towards the support. It's a beautiful angle there for DM. Gets the spear down onto Snaking and crit. Sets up for Satanic to get the double. Now PARIVISION, they want to try and chase on for more. Satanic getting stuck in at the front of the team fight. Amar, he'll back off. But left behind, Skeeter, he's going to get taken down the once.
Oh boy.
Can they get him out here? Is there any sort of save Falcons can come in to protect their carry? The Remnant comes in immediately. He'll get the chance to BKB and enrage. Well, CMR not able to get anywhere close enough, though, to pick Skeeter up and take him out of this. Maureen tries for the TP out, but no one gets the Remnant in, puts a stop to the TP. They get the kill against Maureen and the kill against Skeeter. The defense is held big time by PARIVISION. If they don't even lose to tier 3, they push back hard. They take down 4 heroes. And Falcons, they really do get nothing. And now that they're at a pretty significant 10k coming up gold deficit, the push is going to come in down the bottom lane. A high ground push gone horribly wrong there from Falcons.
What an incredibly unusual play for them. Falcons, you'd always imagine they're not going to force this high ground.
Yeah, they don't normally do something like this.
They're just going to farm them out, but their supports, look how out of position they are. They both get arena'd at the same time, very close to the base, and then once they're dead, you lose those ores, you lose those nukes, and this is not a map position that Sniper wants to fight, and the Stampede gets used to run away. Just a terrible position for Falcons and an uncharacteristic mistake.
It's gonna get punished hard. The push is coming in. The bottom rack starting to get taken down. They look at the buybacks, and both Maureen and Skeeter, they don't have the money for the buybacks, so they've just got to sit back, let this bottom set go, and honestly, maybe damage to come in on the mid lane as well here from PARIVISION. Satanic and no one swing across to the tier 3 mid. There's still 30 seconds with no Skeeter in the picture. It's a lot of time for PARIVISION to push on. We'll see if they respect sort of the 4 of Falcons, as Maureen's going to be back up here with the other 3. But these barracks are falling fast and on. He's playing aggressive. Gets the jump in and control on towards Crit. Crit will be able to dodge the arrow, but yeah, that's 2 full sets of racks taken off the back of a very rough attempt to go high ground from Falcons, as we'll see the first major swing in net worth that we've had so far this game. late on, 48 minutes in.
That bites them big time. And now, this Hex build on Sniper, you wonder if this is going to pay off. The damage is just not there from Falcons that much anymore. Some of these big items coming up. Slark, he's becoming that fourth core. Aeon Disc now on Mars. Shiva's on No One when his chicken respawns.
He's got a load of money, No One.
The tankiness is coming through, and Falcons, do you have enough to cut through that Ursa? He's getting kited in these fights. When his BKB's out, that triple Yules is still present. He's having a hard time actually locking onto and killing heroes.
Let's have a look here. We have had an incredible amount of back and forth. Falcons, are they going to get the chance to push back? Probably not if they get caught like this. Maureen jumped, dead for a minute and a half. He does not have buyback gold, and of course, Satanic's going to be dropping tips back his way after Maureen was tipping Satanic earlier. As they know that they've got to do some crazy 4 versus 5 move, make that 3 versus 5. Snaking's gone, and outside of the base, Skeeter is in a lot of trouble. Caught in the Reno, put the BKB, try to fight back, but the Eon just keeps DM safe. Skeeter is going to get chased out here, bursted by the E-Blade, also dead without the money for buyback. They surround the Centaur, Amar's out of the game. He at least does have the money saved here to immediately buy back. But again,
what's he gonna do?
They're having to try and defend 3 versus 5. They don't have a mid or a carry.
No damage on any of their heroes. It's going to take a miracle to defend this. So many Yules, so many ways to stop the Skywrath damage, and that's the only damage they've got right now. Mega's on the horizon.
Trying to slow them down somewhat, but off the mark with the Who Stomp, and again, the support's in trouble. Crit gets dove upon by No One and Satanic. He has his buyback available. Snaking, though, he does not. He's still, of course, on cooldown. He's out for nearly 2 minutes. Amar trying to draw their attention away from the base, but already Crit has gone down a second time, and this game, it's over.
Oh, the question mark again.
Oh, there we go.
Satanic is riled up,
Yeah.
he says.
I mean, you were right? You questioned, like, what kind of player would he be? He's getting caught by these tips. Is he going to get spin influenced by the patch, or are we just kind of seeing what we expect from Falcons and what we expect from PARIVISION?
I genuinely don't know if a single thing in this draft is different than it would have been last patch.
Maybe they don't know. They took yesterday off. They didn't read anything. They didn't check in online, and they're like, oh, hang on, the map looks a bit funny. Hang on, what's these neutrals?
There's a bridge here. You'll win it this game here.
But indeed, nothing crazy, nothing too crazy with the picks. What do you sort of make of the drafts here with both teams' approach?
Oh, not another first blood, bros. Guys, well, maybe he's fine.
He's kind of speedy.
He's a fish in the river.
He's in the river.
He's actually okay. That's crazy. That's some just fish things. I think these drafts are relatively close. I think Falcons has a lot of early gank potential. I think it's a good Nature's Prophet pick. It's one of the best responses to Queen of Pain.
Oh, now is that hashtag worth or not?
Oh, it's hashtag super not worth.
Okay.
Yeah, no. This is not worth it. 9 class does get it. He does use his blood grenade. They use some mana. It's not the absolute end of the world. They do get 3 bounty urns, so it's not the worst ever. But yeah, I think the Nature's Prophet pick is really good. I think he's got some heroes he can potentially gank. Enigma is a very polarizing hero in a draft. When he's in the draft, it's an Enigma game. You got to gank this guy. You got to shut him down, and you need to do well in lane, because otherwise he will eat your towers alive with those Eidolons. But if he falls behind, he can become a big space bot.
And how do you sort of like the dynamic of having this mid-nature's prophet? Obviously, you like the mid-nature's prophet in particular, but alongside the safe lane Wind Ranger. Does this put too much pressure on the Slardar to be your kind of one and only frontline, or how's it going to work out for Falcons in the fights?
It's a little bit odd, for sure. I think it's not super comfort zone for Falcons.
It's not very Falcons-y at all, is it?
I agree.
That sort of element of the core setup, at least.
And I think the fact it's not Falcons-y, I also think Skitter is not a Wind Ranger player, straight and simple. I think this hero is very good right now. It also got slightly buffed, if I recall correctly, in the patch, but the hero was good before, and it should still be good now. But to be honest, Falcons were not really playing like themselves in that game 1. And this game 2, now they've got double range core, something that Falcons almost never do. And it's Wind Ranger against Enigma, which I feel like should be one of the better heroes against this hero in the early game.
They'll be able to strike back and get themselves a kill on the borders. They'll catch 9 class out in the river. Just to point towards what the Wind Ranger changes were, they actually seem small numbers, but honestly, it probably added up to be a little bit significant, really. The agi gain went from 1.9 to 2.1, and the damage gain per level went from 3.5 to 3.6. So little increases on the scaling of this hero.
And the hero was already strong before.
Yeah.
So just that little bit stronger now. People playing against OG are sweating.
Absolutely, yeah, that's going to be a very hotly contested hero in the drafts with OG, and absolutely, after we saw what Natsumi was doing with this.
And just to highlight no one, this is a lane that we've seen some Queen of Pains get absolutely stomped by Nature's Prophet, and no one is up in the CS, 2 denies compared to Mallory's 0. This is a big deal. Nature's Prophet is not good against Queen of Pain in the game. It's just the early game, and the ability to shut her down and then gank those other lanes and have your whole team be too tanky to be bursted down. So if Queen of Pain is having a good lane, and it's a good sign for PARIVISION, because this is not some super counter or something outside of that early stage.
No, for sure. And talking about counters or maybe lack of, it certainly looks like a game that if it gets to the point, it ain't going to be easy to stop those black holes, right?
It will not. They do have some heroes that can right-click him, so if Winter doesn't get black hole, she can shoot him in the head a million times with a bow and arrow. So it's not the easiest Enigma game ever. DM is also a player that doesn't really play for black hole. He plays for auras, he plays for Eidolons traditionally when he plays that hero. He is an expert on Enigma, but we even see him go for like 4-staff oftentimes instead of the blink. He's very much team player on the hero.
But it is the sort of the fact that if this game goes late, right, and it's like 50, 60, gets to that sort of portion, surely Falcons don't really want it to get to that point, because of the fact that at that stage, the Enigma is going to be like 5 slotted or such, have the sort of means to also make those black hole moves, and that could shut down the game, or at least make it very hard for Falcons to close up a late game.
Yeah, Enigma in the late game is definitely always a factor. Falcons do have some great scaling heroes of their own, and 2 supports that also scale very well. And on the flip side for PARIVISION, they've got Chen, which is a hero that does not scale super well as more time passes. He has no spells. He's all about the lane, he's about that early dominance, and he's about getting those aura items up. So they kind of have 2 aura boys up in the top lane, Enigma and Chen. They're both going to be about that Zoo, so if Falcons can weather the Zoo storm.
And look at that as well, looking fantastic there, showing off the new skin.
Oh, cute!
From the collector's cache here, one of the cooler looking Chen mounts.
Red Panda, I like him.
It's a very nice new set there from Dakar. It's probably one of the reasons why he has picked it this game. Looking fantastic.
No one is straight up winning mid, and now with 9 class coming over, that's a TP back to base. Ooh, where is it? Can he? Why did he? I wonder why he used that TP. Interesting, whatever. Doesn't really matter that much, but he is going to miss a lot of XP.
I mean, I guess this is why.
This is why.
Yeah, wanting to make the quick play with global TP out towards the top lane, but I tell you what, he might want to hope that he didn't go for that, because he is dead. I mean, that was sort of a big brain move into having your big brain completely destroyed and stamped on, because now you're dead without TP.
That's really, really bad. This was definitely not worth it. In the meantime, no one is going to keep farming mid. He didn't even bother TPing top because it was so bad
that
he didn't even need to.
That's rough.
It is rough.
Bottom lane.
Okay.
Falcons at least will find the opportunity to take down Satanic, so a bit of fortune for them down there. But yeah, this is it's going to be a bit of a challenge for Marin to pick himself back up from after that bit of a TP situation. Or lack of, as it has been now, obviously with both of those being used to try and make that play top.
Yeah, and their heroes, they're a lot about this damage over time, a lot of skirmishing, right? Nature's Prophet, Venomancer, Bounty Hunter. If PARIVISION does get those auras online on this Chen and Enigma, you can definitely run into damage issues from Falcons. And like you said, Slardar being the only initiator, he's playing against Troll, he's playing against Queen. A lot of heroes we consider to be typical counters, not to mention the divine favor for that armor.
TP down towards the bottom.
Wow. That's 5 heroes.
Yeah, that's a big one there again. Getting Satanic taken down a second time. So whilst things might not be looking too great around the mid for Falcons, definitely down that bottom lane. They're coming in with those rotations to slow Satanic down. You can see here on the net worth, he is currently at the bottom of the 6 cores in the game. So trade-offs being found across the map.
Yeah, not the end of the world, but Troll is definitely a hero that is slow in the first place. Needs to farm a lot of items to get to those timings before we can have impact. And crit goes down.
9 class and no one able to find the opportunity there. Also looking towards Malrine. Yeah, they'll jump in aggressively for this one. Won't be able to kill him, but
he might be dead if he doesn't TP.
That's true with the arcane.
Yeah,
no one
dead.
can keep going. You're absolutely right. They'll dive in.
Or is he?
Flame break. That should do it. 9 class loses his life, but absolutely will take that, especially considering Skeeter also turned up towards the mid, didn't get to get involved in anything. So a lot of sort of pain being experienced here by Maureen. He's not going to have an easy start to this game. Very different to what we saw him get away with in the early game as his sniper in game 1.
This is definitely not what you want to see for the Nature's Prophet. Not getting involved in that many kills, a bunch of deaths. 9 class in the Batrider, absolutely owning this game. Some key rotations. A clutch TP top turning that fight around. The initial gank on the Nature's Prophet, which made him TP to base in an uncomfortable way. So 2 tier 1s down already for PARIVISION. It's 7 minutes.
That's fast.
Some great momentum building up for them as DM has the drums online going into the mech.
Radiant's courier has been
Pressure is
killed.
mounting.
Of course, just sort of eyes on Skeeter this game, as you say, what he's going to be able to do on the Wind Ranger. Definitely not one of these heroes that over the years we've seen Skeeter on many, many times. So what can he bring to the action here on his own showing of what he can do with the Wind Ranger? And as you said, why is this necessarily a hero that can be a bit tricky to execute? As you say, if you're not a Wind Ranger spammer or an expert, such as that we've seen from Natsumi's Wind Ranger.
I think stylistically, Wind Ranger is just it's a certain type of hero. It's this in and out ranged hero. And I think a lot of players specialize in one type or another between ranged and melee, to be honest. There's such a difference in gameplay, not only in how you play, but how it fits into your team, right? Falcons is used to having Skitter playing a hero that goes in, so that's going to change everyone else's gameplay too.
Back in the day, the Svens, the Wraith Kings.
Exactly. And so now it's going to be a different feel for everyone else. Their muscle memory is saying, my carry's going to go in, but he's not going in. He expects someone else to. And so it can change a lot of things, even outside of Skitter's individual ability to click the buttons, which absolutely he can. He's a great player, but it will change more than you expect to alter the sort of identity of the type of hero you're playing.
And there, indeed, let's talk about this. Obviously picked it up last game just for himself, but this time round, right, this Ash Legion shield with the Eidolons, just something else to throw on top of them as a group that's going to be quite a nice tier 1 neutral to find when you're something like an Enigma. Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm curious to see how much impact this has if we see this change anything in these fights. Save him from Slaughter crushing them or some sort.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
As the farm goes, Skeeter's still slightly ahead of that of Satanic, but still that biggest disparity being between the mids right now. About a 1k gold advantage for no one as opposed to Maureen, considering the tough times Maureen had to go through in that mid matchup.
They're recovering very well on Falcons, though. No more kills for a while for PARIVISION.
Look at the angle here for the Shackle shot onto DM. Straight in towards them they go with a focus fire and such. DM, not a chance. Maureen comes in to join for the play. No one is poking around at the side. Can't really get stuck in himself, so they'll have to just accept the fact that DM gets picked off as PARIVISION return to their respective lanes.
Is under attack.
Very big for them. They've held their side of the map very well. They lost the early towers. But like we've seen earlier in this tournament, just because you lose the towers doesn't mean the enemy can actually take advantage of that. And if you look for PARIVISION, nobody on their team starts fights. Nobody. Enigma not going for the blink. Queen, she doesn't have any points in dagger. There's no slows there. Batrider no blink for a long, long time. So if Falcons holds the line well, understands where PARIVISION is coming from, it's very easy for them to kite back and continue to farm.
Smoke time. Hey, buddy. Yeah, quickly with the dust there as well. As soon as they know someone's on the high ground, they're ready for that one. They'll find Crip.
Nice little grab. You take what you can get. No one definitely wants to get involved this game. Is going for the Blade Mail. Obviously a classic choice against Wind Ranger, armor against Slardar, but it is an item that's been nerfed quite a bit. Will slow down his Kaya and absolutely slow down his farming speed. And if Falcons keep dodging well, I could see a world where this backfires a little bit. Have to see what happens to no one's net worth this game. Going for the more fighting-oriented build in what feels to be a little bit slower of a game after how these towers have gone down. Could affect him.
He's got eyes on the mid. Crit here to help Maureen out. So not going to be able to chase any further here. Bottom. Satanic. He's going to have eyes on Amar, but Amar in turn will have eyes on him. It is around the tier 2 if they want to bring someone in to do something, but Doesn't look like they're interested in trying to punish Amar around this area of the map.
Amar and Satanic sort of playing their own mini-game of Dota. It makes the most sense for both of them to stay here. They need to hold this position.
Top. They look for the angle. Shackle shot won't connect, but DM is trapped in the Sprout. Marin comes in with the TP.
Okay.
Ooh, that black hole put to a stop. They do manage to still get the kill against Skeeter after it all. Yeah, what are the shorts of black holes you'll see?
Hopefully the shortest will see this game.
Yeah. I was... I'm sure, as you said, DM's not going to be too fussed because you say he doesn't... His game at this point is not necessarily about the black hole, but, it still hurts a little bit not to have it, just in case these sort of TP into a tower for a defense and have the threat of the black hole potential arises. So definitely a little bit of a win in that sense from Falcons, but obviously losing Skeeter at the end of the play, not too great for them.
This hero is so hard to gank. It's actually absurd. He just runs down the water. How can you kill this hero? With their heroes, they don't have any hard lockdown. Amar, the fastest fish in the West.
Now let's have a look, because what was going on with these two? Did Slardar and Troll get some what sort of changes? So what do we have on Slardar? The puddle radius from the Crush is slightly larger now. I say that's quite an increase, I'd say, from 250 to 325. Obviously, in return, though, if he gets the Ag Scepter, that puddle has slightly been reduced in size. Bash duration has gone down by 0.1 second, and the bonus damage at the early levels is slightly less from the bashes. So
sounds like a nerf overall, but like a slight one. The hero's laning is still very strong. He's still a flex, so we'll still see this hero, absolutely.
And then in terms of the conversation talking about the Troll, this got a little bit of a buff, right? Yeah, numbers across the board. So a bit more, well, one more bonus armor at each level with the Berserker's Rage. And then on the talents, if these are the ones you still end up taking, the Whirling Axe's damage is slightly more, and the level 20 increasing that Berserker's Rage armor even more. We'll see back in action, Snake King. They're going to get him. I mean, yeah, Mark's going to be in on the Crush with that one. Gets to jump back in and look towards 9 class. And we'll be able to slither away.
Off under the water. Falcons, they have that track online, they have the vessel. It's go, go, go for them.
And Falcons, they want to make sure they can have a chance to take in this Wisdom. See no one coming with the Sonic Wave onto Skeeter. Skeeter gets the chance to bring down Ducalis. Can he get out, though? You see them on top of the Wisdom, contesting it hard here, but Skeeter is dead. Marin, Crit, and Amar trying to fight on. Can they kill no one off? They can't. No one's able to get the blink off. Now Satanic in on top of Amar with the ultimate.
Rude.
9 class had the control to lock Amar down. He'll try and run, but this time he cannot escape. Satanic turning up, making sure he can get involved in some action to pick up some kills. Did have to, of course, use the buyback there on 9 class to make that all happen. And all within it all, they did what secure the Wisdom for themselves. That no one was able to claim it. Top. Chris got eyes on Satanic. He's trying to poke at this, but Satanic's got backup. Chris got to be a bit careful. He's trying to go for this play. I think he's just given up his life there. That was a little ambitious. I guess he felt that he could sort of get away with just being a nuisance for Satanic, but Satanic had a friend.
That was a bit weird. We see here, it feels a bit similar to last game on the opposite side when PARIVISION contested Falcons. Wisdom Ruin, it feels harder to fight these with that high ground. You're very committed to these areas when you go for it. Getting baited a bit, I don't think it was worth it for Falcons to go for this. 9 class does have the buyback, but he'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. They get the Shrine of Wisdom secured for themselves, PARIVISION, and they get this opportunity to get Satanic involved, and involved in a little bit extra as well as the end there, as we saw as Crit ends up walking up and offering his life as well to the Troll.
He'll be very happy with that as he has his Battle Fury completed now off those kills. Had a really rough start, but now off to that typical Satanic pace that we see.
Yeah, on mid.
The rate that kid farms, he must have done a deal with the devil, so I can see why he's called Satanic.
See, no one go for the blink forward. Marin's going to try and punish this TPing in.
They're focusing different targets.
They can still get DM now. They're poking at him. And they'll certainly find him. Amar able to sweep him from the side. They're still going for no one. Skeeter trying to go in with the focus fire, but the blink was back up. Can they get any further catch on a no one? I don't think so. So they'll have to back away. They get something out of this. Of course, they get that kill against DM.
Radiant's top tower is
They
under
do.
attack.
And man, the DOTs and the poke ability from Falcons are disgusting this game. Their draft feels somewhat similar to PARIVISION's last game, and this in and out, these slow fights. Their heroes are very good at this. It worked well for PARIVISION last game, and Falcons saying, hey, we're going to take a page out of your book and poke you, so you don't want to be poked anymore. And they've got great control of the gates now on Falcons as well. If you look, control of both sides as Snaking is going to feed.
Yep, he certainly is. 9 class walks up, sets up for no one to get a tasty free kill. Oh, actually 9 class ends up getting the last touch with the tick damage, which he'll take because that means the money's done now for the Blink Dagger on 9 class.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
Titanic is
has
continuing to farm up. Going for the S and Y into the BKB. Classic troll items, nothing too surprising here. I imagine he'll still be quiet for a while, continuing to farm up, play for some of those later timings. 9 class does have the blink now, so every 90 seconds they have much easier ways making those kills happen, but it's still...
They're going to go straight away. Even though he doesn't have the last, I mean, obviously they still have heavy burst with the Sonic Wave. And they do have Black Hole if DM wants to get involved, but looks like at the moment he's going to deal with the mid. It's been hit by the scan though, so Falcons know that something's coming at them from this angle. So unlikely to get caught.
Just break it. Will he get dusted? He does, but they don't see him.
They don't, just outside of actual vision.
See ya!
So smoke put to waste.
Skitter, you can see a different build we've been seeing Natsumi and some of the other winners just go. He's going for the Maelstrom into the BKB. Almost, what the heck?
Marin and Amar. I want to make the jump under the tier 2 down bottom there with the blink on Slardar.
He's going for this Maelstrom into BKB, not the Mjolnir, into Manta's kiting items to see like this. Sort of goes back to some of these stylistic differences. Skitter is used to playing a committal hero in a lot of ways. I don't know if it's a great BKB game.
I was going to say, what is it in particular that he does want the BKB rather than a sort of a less expensive in terms of using Dispel, such as the Manta?
I genuinely don't know. If it was me, I would not buy BKB this game, at least not here. Maybe a little bit of autopilot, maybe just lack of comfort on the hero, but I don't super see the vision for the Maelstrom BKB. You can still be lassoed. Troll can still beat the crap out of you.
Yeah, still get Black Hold. But it obviously would happen either way, but...
We'll see if it pays off or not.
Yeah. Because for now, the gap is starting to grow between Satanic and Skidder. But I think it's sort of expected, as you say, especially when Skidder doesn't go full out for the completed Mjolnir and have that kind of faster farming potential as well. As opposed to obviously Satanic being a troll with a Battle Fury. So you'd imagine as a whole, Falcons, they're going to look to try and keep their edge and lead with the focus on objectives and kills. Which is working out so far. You know, they have that slight advantage on gold, 3k lead right now. Amar leading the way, which they need to. You know, we talked about how important it was going to be for Amar to be able to be that presence at the front of the fight, and he's absolutely in position to do so with the farm that he has. He's well on the way to his BKB. PARIVISION though, they're sneaking into the Roshan pit, and Falcons, they've got their eyes sort of set on the tier 2 down bottom. They certainly do not have any focus on this area to map though, so this Roshan, it's going to be a complete free one for PARIVISION.
I think they're recognizing it now, but too late.
Yeah.
Roche is gone. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it is something.
Because they can move to the Tormentor now, and if you're Falcons, do you want to fight into this Aegis Tormentor attempt from for PARIVISION? That seems kind of nasty.
It looks like they do, but they might be too late for this as well. As Chen Enigma,
it's going to go
Troll,
fast.
This thing dies instantly. They're not getting there in time.
Yeah, just a bit of a step behind Falcons, which I say is a bit surprising considering they did have the gold lead coming into these couple of plays, and both of these moves they were not able to be a part of. They're going to maybe try and fight now, but PARIVISION, they're sort of ready for this step on the high ground.
Oh, Marin?
He's going to TP him right on the front lines, but he's TP'd right underneath the Troll. Satanic just turns and takes him out. Not the entrance there into the fight whatsoever that Falcons needed to be playing with. Just a nature Maori TPing in and just dying.
That was... I mean, he wanted to chat up. I respect the thought, but you had to know PARIVISION were all there. They have the Greaves, the Lotus, a lot of strong defensive
they're
tools.
Chasing it. So if they get the blink angle for Crit, they will. I mean, they're actually going to try and help out Crit, and it will be enough to save him. Skidder does not want to full commit, though, on towards the Troll, especially whilst that Aegis is still in the hands of Satanic, but yes, a couple of shaky moves there from Falcons, and costing them that little bit of a lead they had, and has now put PARIVISION very much in a position where they might just be able to start taking the lead their own way with this next 3.5 minutes with the Aegis on Satanic. PARIVISION definitely going to be feeling in a good spot after those few series of events.
It definitely will, and the Lotus Orb now complete on DM, so that track, some of that Veno obnoxiousness, the amp damage, They've all been lessened a little bit. Going for the Crimson next will massively impact the Wind Ranger damage, especially not going for that Mjolnir like we mentioned before. He's not that farmed on Wind Ranger.
It's hard. I mean, it's pretty much impossible, right, to keep up with the farm of the Troll with the 2 items in play, right? Skeeter needs to be getting kills to sort of close that gap. If they're both hitting the creeps, running around the map, this Troll, Satanic, he's just only going to be increasing that lead.
He will. You have to worry as more tank ability items come out for PARIVISION. Falcons have the damage to deal with it. They've got a lot of poke, we know that, but this Blade Mail and Nature's Prophet, it didn't do too much in the last fight. It's going to slow down his farming ability. Will they have damage as time goes on? As Slardar, his worst carry matchup is probably Troll Warlord. He cannot man-fight this hero in any context, so you're only an in-and-out poke hero. You're not a Giga Chad that you may be in some other games, at least not yet. So Falcons saying we're not going to fight into that Aegis. And like you said, a little bit asleep at the wheel. They gave him the Roche for free. They gave him the Tormentor for free just because they were a bit slow on some of these moves. This has not been Falcons' day so far. They've not looked like the clean, immaculate, pristine bird that we usually see.
Fit for a queen.
Satanic.
Dire's top tower.
Show a little bit down bottom there. Smoke is coming out from Falcons, but it looks like it's sort of just a smoke to disengage from this area. Maybe see if they do catch someone out alone, but as it is, PARIVISION not leaving themselves open to be caught separate from one another. Pretty much the entirety of their team down here in the jungle. Maybe, you know, maybe Chen steps a bit too far away from the team and Falcons are able to punish that, as he is the one closest to them right now. Obviously, they want something bigger than that, Falcons. They're desperately looking for a core kill opportunity. They do have eyes on Satanic, but of course, still with the Aegis for a minute. There's a question of whether they want to go on this Troll like this.
His team's behind him. They do have the BKB and Wind Ranger completed now.
They might be able to get a further wraparound here. It doesn't look like PARIVISION are expecting Falcons to be at this sort of position, but at the same time, Falcons, even with this sort of part of the map that they're in, they're not going to be able to go in on the action. Snaking's going to try and grab the creep wave, but PARIVISION will very quickly turn and grab him. So Snaking will die, and the rest of Falcons just have to escape this area.
These kills, they get a tier 2 in the meantime. It feels like Falcons, they know they can't fight. When PARIVISION is grouped up like this, they just don't have the damage. And as the towers continue to fall, sure, they can wait up this Aegis and try to fight after, but in the meantime, this Crimson Guard's going to be finished. Not far away now for DM. Wind Ranger, Nature's Prophet, their right clicks are not going to do anything in this time frame, so Falcons is going to have to double, triple, quadruple down on playing these fights slow. Execution is going to become a massive factor for Falcons, as it's not easy pickings in these fights anymore.
And talking about the item, this was what would you say, one of the surprises that you didn't see the Crimson actually kind of get toned down in this patch. It's as strong as ever, and if anything, it did get that little bit of a buff with the buff being undispellable now.
Yeah, it's a pretty big buff. I think it would have been fine if they left the item alone, but to buff it, not exactly sure why. So Wind Ranger, your only option is to have so much damage you can cut through it, or to kite it. That's all you got now, because there's no getting rid of it. Undispellable Crimson Guard. Crazy change, genuinely.
Falcons have managed to now wait out that Aegis timing that PARIVISION had to play with. Crit's got his eyes on DM. They'll catch him pretty far up the lane here, but the TP's coming in. Ooh. They will get that quick and easy pick-off.
Went for the Orchid on Crit, so Queen will have slight issues playing super aggressive unless that Lotus Orb from DM is around, so we'll have to mind her positioning a little bit. Can't play that full free playstyle that Queen loves to have. And it's a pretty horrendous BKB game for no one, so I don't envision he'll be going for that. Yules, Shivas, these things much more likely to be on the docket.
Yeah, we'll at least have the backup of the 4-star for 9 class again soon, so also having that as an option to sort of bail him out of tough spots, slide him out of the way.
You can see, though, from the way PARIVISION is moving around the map, the heroes want to 5-man. They want to be together for these team fights. Enigma, all aura items. Chen, all aura items. It's just the Bat who can split things up very well. And Falcons, they've got an Nature's Prophet. They're all over the place. A Bounty Hunter scouting things out. They've got tools to keep the farm up, and they are. Despite PARIVISION, I think, feeling quite a bit stronger in these team fights. Falcons, they know how to move around, and they're not going to give them that free injection. PARIVISION say, hey, that base is looking kind of tempting.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if 9 Class can get the chance to get a quick jump and grab someone out of this, he will go for it immediately. So we'll see what they find here. PARIVISION on the push. They're going to get the...
Oh, the Orchid.
That was immediate there. Stops him from getting the last opportunity. Will still be able to get out. Actually, he won't there. The burst coming through as Marine drops the ultimate. Ensures that 9 Class is gone, and with that, should be enough to slow down or maybe even just stop completely the push from PARIVISION. Amar going to try and chase outside of the base, but they just dropped the black hole onto him. The backup's trying to come in to help him, but the pushback there for the Sonic Wave. Amar will be able to live throughout the black hole though and get the BKB off. He survives. Skinner turns with a focus fire, takes out no one. Can they deal with Satanic though? Satanic in onto Marine. The Sprout will hold him back into the shackle shot. They're locking Satanic down, and that will give the chance for Marine to TP out. Amar jumps back in with the crush. Difficult though to get back in on towards Satanic. They're seeing if they can maybe chase, but Amar's pretty low. Can they get the angle? Marine in with the TP, has the Sprout on a DM. DM will be able to cut his way out. The shackle there though, off the Eidolon. Very nicely done by Skeeter. Catches onto DM, means that Falcons will find themselves another big kill here as they push back the attempt there from PARIVISION. Obviously, the last game we saw some high ground attempts going wrong from Falcons. Kind of happening a little bit the other way there this time around. PARIVISION try to poke at the high ground. Falcons strike back very nicely and are able to push back the attempt.
It is a masterful fight from Falcons. Playing on the ridges, Malrine staying alive just barely. Troll, a famously bad matchup against Nature's Prophet as time passes, getting sprouted in that ulti, losing vision of the target. Malrine lives because of it, allows them to heal, TP back in, and they get another big core kill out of it. And now with the Ags almost completed on Amar, he got solo black holed. Everyone hit him for the entire duration of the black hole. They couldn't get him. And he just didn't die. Oh. I don't know if that bodes well for PARIVISION in the future. They had a moment of strength there. It felt like...
Check it out here again. So really doing everything they could. You know, Satanic beating into the Slardar was not enough.
He didn't ult on Satanic initially. If he ulted right away, they might have bursted him. And this could have been a very different story. Saves it for later, but the Sprout into the shackle. Oof.
Yeah, definitely getting a potential sign of things to come, as you say. That the Sprout shackle combo throughout these later fights means that as soon as that BKB wears out for Satanic, they're going to have the control. They really, it's not going to be easy for him to just run rampant across the team fight when he pops the ultimate.
Yeah, and while Troll may be good against Slardar, it was picked very early in this game. All he saw was the Bounty Hunter and the Slardar when it was picked, and it's got bad matchups against Venomancer, Nature's Prophet, and Windranger. They have the tools to kite him, and so while Satanic may be the most farmed hero, he does not have the best matchups. And so that farm is not game-ending.
No, and I think now that the Skeeter's got to the point where he does now have the Mjolnir, if Falcons could continue to hold the map as such in a favorable way, there will be the space, and now he'll have the speed to be able to farm up the map and start to catch up to the ranks of those two top cores in the game right now, Malrine and Satanic.
Absolutely, and now Malrine going back for the Mjolnir, so more of that damage coming out, and he is very experienced with his Nature's Prophet. Played it a lot whenever there was the big, stupid, broken trees that one-shot your throne, but all that muscle memory still remains.
Falcons feeling very good about themselves after that last defense. PARIVISION, they're going to have to reconsider what their next steps are, especially with this Aegis in play for Skeeter on Falcons. In terms of their next big item purchases, what are we looking toward? I mean, no one is about 2,500 gold in on the BKB.
He is, but we mentioned it before, it's not a great BKB game. He kind of has to buy it between the Orchid and the Shackle, but you're buying it for an Orchid and a Shackle. That doesn't feel exactly like you want, and you're going to get right-clicked by a Slardar, a Windranger 2, and a Nature's Prophet in the meantime, so this is by no means one of those invincibility BKBs. This is a necessity BKB, which is not something you want to buy, especially on Queen. And no one you would kind of hope for him to be the carry of this game. It's the latest picked hero or PARIVISION, 18 and 23, basically the same thing. So has some of those better core matchups, but hasn't been able to put it to use so far after that early game.
A little bit of calm now. Falcons, definitely so after last game. I wouldn't imagine we're going to see this team do anything drastic, even when they do start to build a bit of a lead. They can go for these sort of smoke plays with a couple of them. Look to try and join in with Marine TPing in, but I can only imagine that now that they've got this lead and they've managed to push back, that they aren't going to feel too under the pressure to just try and get towards this base anytime soon.
I think you're right. To say that, they are smoking and pushing up. Astron on Skitter.
He's going to just go for the quick grab onto Ducalis. And some of the shackle, but the neutrals are there to control him. Ducalis going to get a little, to live a little longer. Pops the hand of God. Off to the side, the Black Hole's down. It is a pretty darn good one. DM sets up, gets the double kill. Can they deal with Satanic now? The Satanic closing in towards Skeeter. Skeeter trying to run over the BKB in the win run. He's very, very low. He's considering maybe turning and trying to get back in on this one. Won't be able to get his hands onto 9 class. Still wants to try and push this while he has the Aegis. But ended up being a bit split up there. Falcons, they look for that move. Sure, Ducalis and DM do die at the end of it, but that sort of split up just allowed DM to set up with this Black Hole and allow Satanic to clean up a tasty couple of kills.
Yeah, can we get a replay? How on earth did Venomancer and Slaughter end up next to each other? I feel like in a fight, those two heroes should never be in the same vicinity. I wasn't looking at it. I genuinely have no idea how they ended up next to each other. But a good hold for PARIVISION. Here we go. What the heck happened?
So they're coming down the river. Jump in, they have the lasso control, and yeah, DM's just able to turn and lock down the two of them.
Ran into them. So just, to be honest, a bit of missed execution from Amar, I think. I mean, you can argue snaking too, potentially. Running a bit of a silly path. You have to assume that your Wind Ranger is going to get this kill. She's got an Aegis, a BKB. She's got all the tools she could ever ask for. They run a greedy short path, not paying attention to their surroundings, and they feed 2 kills away. I think that should have been a fight that was very Falcons favored, but losing 2 key heroes right off the bat. Not what you want to see. They're still in a dominant position, but it does slow their roll a little bit.
See where they want to go next. It's in the river. Satanic and Amar watching one another.
Yules also has got a pretty decent buff in the last patch, as you can no longer dispel people when they are Yuled. So, Nullifier, Troll Ags, it used to annihilate this Yules, but now when you press the Yules, you can't be affected in the air. You can only nullify them, but against Troll that doesn't matter because it's an on-cast thing. It doesn't linger. It's just an instance of dispelling. So if you have the Yules against the Troll, there's no taking you down with anything.
I see. So yeah. So indeed, what you just to point out for the viewers and for me, if you nullify and the projectile's traveling towards them and then they Yules, that will still bring them down.
I believe so.
Okay. It's just that they can't be targeted.
You can't click the nullifier on them when they're in the air already. So those kiting options are a little bit better against that Troll.
Falcons still holding the lead, but again, very much seeing that PARIVISION have the potential to take these fights, especially if Falcons do end up walking into these black holes from DM. And yeah, looking for the BKB next on him, because as you said earlier, you know, once he has that BKB, sure, they can still maybe find the chance to get the angle to right-click him down, but won't have any ways to quickly interrupt it.
No, they will not.
Smoke sign now from PARIVISION, as they do have everything back up. And with the ultimates, big damage though, scaling up for Falcons. Maureen keeping level with the Farmer Satanic this game, and Maureen now has that Daedalus. So if he can get in position to offer up those right clicks,
Maureen, this is a dangerous wave, brother.
Then they're gonna get the catch on him. Huge lasso coming into play. Maureen is dead, and for a long, long time there, Quinn. He just spent up for the Daedalus. He's dead for a minute and a half.
That was so uncharacteristic. Why is he farming there? They see all the other waves, and where else could PARIVISION be?
Dear.
Extremely uncharacteristic mistake from Maureen. Not his day so far.
No. I mean, I'll tell you what, though. We talked about whether or not Maureen was going to be able to throw Satanic off the game in game 1 with those early tips. Maybe he's the one more susceptible to tilting. And sort of that sort of hit back from PARIVISION in the sense that PARIVISION won game 1. They tipped him back. They question marked him back. You know, he kind of signed himself up for this, Quinn, and he's crumbling to it.
He did. That was a rough death. You lose a full set of racks from it. You're still in this game, but Snake King,
I mean, they might feed some more in Falcons if they're not careful.
doesn't know how close he is.
Yeah,
This Bat Rider right now. Just one line of trees between him and probable death. And they're on top of him,
Yep,
and he's probably dead.
He's looking very dead. Lasto's back up. It's going to be Snake King gone. Falcons then certainly not going to want to walk into this 3 versus 5, so they've got to let that kill happen and let this push coming on the move. I said Lamar. Obviously feels pretty safe with the BKB, Axials, lots of ways to save himself, so tries to get them off the tower. Won't be able to do so. Satanic steal up to push, take the objective. That's the tower gone. We'll see a little longer respawn on the Roche at least, so Falcons will all be back up in the game easily by the time it's back up. About 2 minutes to go on that. But Falcons, they've got to be careful. They had about a 9K lead. They let it slip away. Good aggressive moves from PARIVISION, of course, to just get proactive and look to punish Falcons as such. But yeah, Falcons, they've got to be a bit more prepared for this. You know, we saw it in game 1. PARIVISION are not a walk in the park. They are playing very, very hot this morning. They are, and it's just Falcons feeling a little bit off. It's hard to say if it's draft, if it's the new patch making them feel a little uncomfortable. If, like some other teams, they just forgot to have breakfast today, but not quite like the Falcons we usually see, and this Roche fight is going to determine a lot. Falcons can't afford to have another bad fight like that. But it's not an easy Roche fight to take. Not after what we saw what go down in the last few fights. A lot is on Amar to find the big jump crush. All odds up for PARIVISION. Still no BKB for DM, so there is a chance that even if the Black Hole comes in, they can find an angle to put a stop to it. But understandably, Falcons, after those last few situations, they're going to be incredibly careful. Or at least you'd imagine so in how they try and start this one off.
A little poke shackle, but PARIVISION, deward the ward, hold the hill. Great restraint and discipline. Not going too far here.
I want to be a little bit patient on Falcons. I believe that is the pipe coming out now for snaking. There it is. So another aura to throw into the mix for the team fight. See out in the river. Satanic showing that he is not scared at all. And he's more than happy for them to go on him. Very much trusting the backup that he has here from his team to allow him to get away with this sort of aggressive posture.
We'll say Slaughter is getting close to that 25, and you see the Lotus Orb and the Troll Ags there getting rid of this Corrosive Haze. But when Slaughter gets to that 25, Undispellable Corrosive will be enormous in this game and a big problem for PARIVISION. So as it goes later, they may have the Enigma on their side, but there are tools for Falcons as well. So tanky.
He really is. It's a very tough hero to go on if you're PARIVISION, unless they get some sort of last opportunity. They do get the Shackle shot in return here, but now the Lasso comes out. They manage to get the grab on a Skeeter. They take him out down into the river. The Sonic Wave, the right click for Satanic is enough. The Black Hole doesn't catch anything, but it probably doesn't matter. Satanic's in position now on top of Maureen. Amar's going to come back over, gets him with the crush. Maureen will still end up dying as no one picks him off at the end. And PARIVISION can leave it at that. DM gets sort of tossed to the side there. And PARIVISION, they'll certainly take that. Sure, they lose their carry, but they get both the carry and the mid from Falcons. Amar, he's not done with the action. Tries to jump back in here over towards DM. No one also getting aggressive. We'll get the slows in onto Snake King. Of course, Amar's tanky, but Snake King not quite as much. We'll at least have Amar holding back 9 class with the crush. Amar still... Well, this time around, I don't know if he gets away with this. He's already down to half HP. Surely got to start being careful. Okay, he's going to have the backup of Maureen. They'll use the buyback play here on the Nature's Prophet, or buyback. Won't be able to get his hands on towards the Quap straight away. Amar's going to try and chase and close the gap, though, and he will find him. Slithers up, gets him with a crush and the bash to take out no one. And with this buyback of Maureen, potentially able to move straight into the pit here and finish this Roche off for themselves. And if they get that, get this Aegis secured, it's the buyback well used. They had to be a bit cautious because Amar and Snaking are low, but it doesn't look like with PARIVISION having just the 3 of them up, they can do anything to stop this. So Falcons, they make a good call there. The buyback's used, and it pays off.
Definitely worth it. But it is a heavy committal, so if Maureen does die in the future, it could spell doom for Falcons. And man, the way this fight happens, such great patience from 9class, knowing that he needs to last with his Wind Ranger and they can burst her. Amazing understanding, and I think it also shows that maybe this BKB not the right choice. If he had the Manta, the Pike, the Lincolns, these better kiting items, obviously he's not going to have all three, would be a big difference potentially. But just the BKB, no protection against that lasso. No Lotuses yet, no Lincolns, as now they have 2 Lincolns and a Lotus queued up, so realizing the key to this game is not having that crucial lasso happen, as Wind Ranger will kill a lot of heroes if she's not insta-bursted like that.
Yeah, either way, this game, once again, I think, you know, we're 42 minutes into game 1, right, and it was also this level of sort of similarity to how close it was in terms of the net worth. Falcons with a slight lead, of course, right now, but as we saw at this stage last game, how quickly that could go back and forth. Definitely going to be the same case here. Further big items picked up. The Satanic done on Satanic. Crit going for the Blink Dagger here on the bounty.
Blinked. Interesting. Playing for himself. Positioning tool. Not exactly sure why he's buying it in this game specifically, but can't be bad.
Dire are scanning.
But Amar, he does have the completed AC, and he's closing in on that 25.
Yeah, he's big.
They may even want to wait for that talent before they take the fight. This talent is feared among pro players. Slardar having this talent, and just in general, talents that change a key aspect of a spell are always so powerful. Slardar is characterized by the fact you can dispel haze, and if you can't dispel it suddenly, he is a completely different beast.
It's yeah, very nasty to push into, to try and fight against, especially when you sort of consider that outside of that, Falcons have quite a few tools to kind of get the vision out, right? So you're already going to have kind of wards down, potentially heroes getting tracked. So that means that when this sort of push or setup to the fight occurs, it's incredibly likely that Amar's always going to be able to lay down some corrosive hazes before the fight kicks off.
100%. Now, like you mentioned, DM has the BKB finished, a BKB on 9class as well. They've gotten more of that immunity, and they have great ways to burst heroes. Satanic will 100-0 anyone in a lasso or a black hole if they're close to him. So Falcons, you need to execute these fights properly. Scout with the trees, with snakes, bounty hunters scouting people and blinking out. How these fights start, the initiation, incredibly important for both teams.
In terms of the neutrals, we've got what? Satanic, he's got the Bota.
Skitter also has the Dota2.
Bota D's nuts.
That's right.
Got him. You know, after they moved the D's to, you know, that was the old D's nuts one. You know, that got relegated to 60 minutes. They made sure that we got the Bota instead. Lacoste will be happy.
Appreciate that, Valve. It's very big of you. You know what else is big is these trees.
Hell yeah.
They may not be the old ones, but they are still 3x damage and HP, so pretty much Soul taking this tier 2 here.
They're talking about what happened with the numbers for Nature's Prophet this patch.
I think he was untouched or rough.
So what do we got? Agility gain went down from 3 to 2.6 each level, but the damage gain also went down 4.1 to 3.9, so scaling went a little bit down across the stats.
Okay.
In terms of his innate, the bonus damage per tree also went down 3% to 2%.
Okay, it's quite a bit of nerfs.
Nature's cool, a little cheaper to use. Obviously, most of the time we've rarely seen it skilled early on. But yeah, a little cheaper to use. Attack range is a bit better from the treants. Damage went up slightly. You see in the mid this tier 2 getting very low. Satanic's going to be here for the defense. They still have this Aegis though on Falcons, so they might look for a crazy move. Amar's trying to see if he can get the angle to jump in, and he's going to find he gets the crush it onto the 2 of them. They'll now turn towards Amar. Amar able to slip the back of Tiger, or maybe not, because there's the grab with the lasso. They get the catch, the Black Hole down on towards the 2 of them again, catching both Amar and Snaking. Did it before, of course, getting those 2 down on the bottom lane. Does it again here around the mid. That's the both of them gone. And with that Aegis about to expire in 15 seconds, Falcons, they have no place to be here on PARIVISION's half of the map. They have to just back off, get out of here. And they might even be in a position where maybe some of these buybacks are getting forced out. We'll see how much PARIVISION try and run it down the mid, but I imagine they're probably going to go for this pretty hard, right, Quinn?
I think so. I think Falcons is going to have to buy back. They need to set up and be ready for this fight. Aegis is out on Malorine, and he has no buyback. Falcons, they're on the brink here.
Yeah, this could get kind of scary for Falcons. Again, going from moments ago where they had this Aegis, they're the ones looking to make the play. See what they can get it. They get the Shackle in on towards Satanic, but the team's able to get Satanic back out of there. Amar's going to try and jump in aggressively on top of the Troll, but they can still kite him out, and Amar's had to use the buyback for this. Falcons, they really want to try and find something off the fact that they use this buyback. Shackle Shot's not going to latch. Skeeter should be fine. Still has BKB ready to press 9 class. He's going to pop his first. He looks to try and get him with the jump. Amar goes in aggressively.
No buyback.
Satanic's in on top of him. Amar has to BKB and run. This is not a fight for him to be a part of. No one's going to try and force him to be a part of it, though. Blinks in aggressively. Malorine will turn to try and take down the Queen of Pain. No one gets the Sonic Wave off. He's able to blink away. No one is fine. And now Satanic, he's going to find Amar. Amar jumps back in. Has to, again, get away, keep his distance. It works out. They bait them in. They kill them off. In fact, even getting the Queen of Pain as well, as he tried to jump back in onto the action there, no one. And now, the turns have tabled, as you say. Quinn, it's both of these cores now, and PARIVISION dead. Sure, Falcons had to use these buybacks, but now Falcons with everybody up, they could certainly look to try and force the buybacks out of PARIVISION.
This feels like the highest skilled Herald game I've ever seen. Both teams running back and forth down mid, spamming buybacks.
Here we go.
It's just the button pressing is insanely good. That fight was crazy impressive from Amar, knowing his limits perfectly.
So many times it looked like he was going to die. Back in, back out. Really doing everything here to be sort of the front line to this chaos, to allow that sort of space in the fights for Skeeter and Malorine to get the damage out. Here comes the push, and that's the first buyback they've been able to force back out of PARIVISION as no one comes back into play. Has to be careful about getting jumped.
But 9 class is spawning soon. The black hole almost up. Lasso is up. Skitter, he's been grabbed many times. Amar as well.
Let's see what they do here. Might just let this mid-ranks go.
Whoa.
It's gone.
They don't want to have to use that buyback on Satanic.
No.
And Falcons, if they get caught there, Slaughter has no buyback. And we talked about it earlier, how crucial Amar is to their ability to take these fights. He's the only initiation. Otherwise, it's just poke. They've got a Shackle, but that's hardly fight start. It's much more follow-up or pick-off. They need Amar to stay alive in these fights. Going for the Wind Waker and almost has it. So we'll have more options to keep himself alive if he can finish that before the next big fight.
And because this is the thing as well, at this stage of the game, with Falcons' lineup and with their items, if Amar can continue to do this, just sort of draw the fights out, does sort of a longer sustained fight benefit Falcons more if Amar's able to kind of keep this push and pull going over a long period of time in these skirmishes?
It definitely does. They have amazing, amazing tools in these long fights. See Malorine going for the Shadow Blade. Skitter had the Ags earlier. Stacking Invis on everyone. Lincoln's Lotus. Snaking has one of those queued up. The Wind Waker, they know we need to survive. We need to not get jumped by this lasso from 9 class. And these 2-man Black Holes DM keeps landing. And then we have good chances in these fights. PARIVISION is smoked up.
Oh, look at this.
That's a good rune.
Malorine with the buyback gold ready. Satanic. Whenever start ready to eat that axe. There's the Blink Dagger on DM. This next fight, we're definitely going to see Falcons use buybacks, especially from Malorine. If Malorine gets caught at the start of the action, as you can see, you know, he wants to ideally start the fight with PARIVISION's hand revealed and used on the rest of his team, so he doesn't have to worry about kind of TPing into a troll or a black hole from DM.
I think he definitely wants to use his life and abuse that buyback for his teammates who don't have it, who don't have the ability to get into these fights in the same way.
So you wouldn't actually mind him going in with the TP first to start things?
No, I think
just
it's
goes super aggressive.
I think it's okay. Like in these buybacks, you want like if he gets lassoed, that means his Slaughter is a free fight, and now his Slaughter can be the one to do the heavy lifting. Somebody's gonna die in these fights. There's no way Falcon wins a clean 5-0. So anyone who's got buyback has got to be somewhat of a Chad. That's amp. That's unpurgeable.
He'll wait it out. Does he have the recipe coming out? Because he's got the money for both that and buyback, right?
Who does, sorry?
Satanic, for the Ags recipe.
Yeah, he's got plenty of gold.
But it's not coming out to him, right?
Yeah, he wants the Swift Blink, I suppose. But he's going to need to eat something. He's going to need to eat it anyway. You're right. I'm not exactly sure why he's not eating it and just like buying boots or something at a minimum. Or just the normal
Yeah, because he could easily have the money for both. But I guess, as you say, he wants to eat it and have the Blink picked up as well. Which he doesn't quite have money to buy the Blink Dagger and the Aghanim's recipe yet. He's getting close to have both of those and buyback. But does mean that he's going to be fighting this next fight with quite a bit of gold unspent. Okay, now he spends it. No, still hasn't. He's still waiting. Still waiting until he's clear for the buyback on top of those two items. But yeah, he's got, what, 3,800 surplus, and I think the two of them together, it's close. In fact, he might have enough. Either way, he's getting gone up. He's going to have to put the BKB pretty early here to get out.
Now that this Lotus is online, 9 class is going to think a little bit twice. The jump's not quite as easy. Snaking is primed and ready, knows how important this is. This Lotus lasso mini game, potentially pressing the Lincolns from Skitter on someone else. This can be game deciding. These clutch little moments, small item usage, can totally flip this game on its head.
Okay, it looks like he was actually just still considering what he wanted to have. So instead of actually the Blink, he's now shifting towards the Basher as that sick item. I mean, what do you think would be the best pickup here? Because he's still not committed for that, so he's definitely just thinking about what he wants with the sick pickup on the draw this game. We'll see in action though. No one. It's caught in the Sprout. It's getting burst pretty low. They'll have to put the BKB and Blink away. Falcons, can they bring any more action now that BKB's been forced out by the Quap? It's difficult. PARIVISION are in a good spot here to strike back if Falcons walk into this. Falcons, though, they're going to feel confident enough to start going for the Roche here with the fact that no one's BKB is on cooldown on the Quap. So maybe feeling it's less likely that PARIVISION go all in for a play here. The thing is that
last on Black Hole.
See if PARIVISION can make the jump. Roshan's falling very fast. 9 class early with the BKB, but he can't get the angle to blink in. I think one of the Plague Wards caught him. So they will not be able to interrupt this Roche. Falcons, they get the Aegis once again.
That's big stuff. Gives them another window to potentially attack this base, but we've seen how high ground pushes have gone this game.
They're going to be so careful this time, right, Falcons? After what happened in game 1, they might just wait for like the 60-minute items and like a 20k gold lead, because they are not going to want to let this game slip away in a similar fashion as game 1 did, because it slipped away so fast after that failed Aegis push.
They dropped it. It's like when you drop your phone, but you dropped it over a sewer grate and it like slips down and it's just gone forever.
It's gone.
Falcons, they just bought a new phone. There's no sewer residue on it. They want to keep it clean and immaculate. They haven't got time to buy a case yet.
Well, let's have a look. Because you would think that, but you know, we have seen games where you're watching and you're like, surely they won't do that. And then they do that and it goes horribly wrong. Obviously, there's still very much the chance that they push with this Aegis and they are going to be able to do it. But that little bit of a risk and that concern after what happened last game is definitely going to be there.
It is. A 9 class, he's looking. Ooh. Okay, that's big. Uses Blink, so now they have 10 seconds of free hitting while the Blink is cooldown.
And they get the tier 3. Looking for the jump angle.
Like you said, they're playing it careful.
Yeah.
They're not rushing these racks down. They know they have the whole map to farm. Nature's Prophet can absorb everything like a big sponge. And they can build that patent-pending Falcons gold lead.
Yeah. And as I say, Satanic, he was considering, after eating the Ags, the Blink and the Basher, it does end up going back for the Blink first. And do you think this is necessary? You know, can you feel why Satanic does feel that the Blink is pretty required to get involved in these team fights?
I do. PARIVISION, their gameplay is all about bursting. And an Abyssal, if he gets in range to Abyssal them, they're already dead. He doesn't need the stun from that, doesn't do anything. He needs this Blink to actually latch onto them. He's going to go for the Abyssal after so he can have some solo kill threat of his own, Blink Abyssal ult, and just kill a guy. So it's not only on 9 class, his shoulders are aching. Carrying the load of the catch for PARIVISION this game.
Quite a lot of Eidolons getting wiped out this game. A lot there, as you can see, by Amar. Gave him nearly 1,000 gold of Eidolons towards the Slardar this game.
So you needed to keep that shield thing.
The Ash Legion shield.
That's right. Surely they won't die with that.
In terms of damage, we see Maureen very much stepping it up this game. Did get caught out a few times, but outside of that, having fantastic input and excellent farm here on the Nature's Prophet. nearly doubling that of the damage of anyone else on his team. And he's only going to step that up even more, getting close to being able to pick up that Moon Shard over still having the luxury of buyback. Of course, very important. And in terms of buybacks, you can see everybody's got it apart from Skeeter. Still just needs 800 gold. Should be able to get that pretty easily within this remaining 2 minutes of Aegis time. So we could be set up for some pretty crazy multi-buyback team fights here as we get closer to the 60-minute mark. Falcons, how much more do they want to try and push it here with these last moments of Aegis? They're down in the bottom lane again.
Skitter's looking. Maybe he wants to hit. 9 class is always waiting in the wings.
Oh, and he's going to get the grab onto Amar. They get the jump in TM. He's just going to pop the black hole straight away, lock down Amar, see if they can kill off this Slardar, and they can. The Slardar gone. Satanic getting burst very low, but the Hand of God comes in. He'll be fine. Skeeter pushing forward.
Going very deep.
Has to maybe start backing off now. No one. Going to see if he can get a catch onto anything else, but the blink out's there from Crit, able to dodge the dagger. Satanic, he's going to jump in aggressively over towards Skeeter. They're going to look to take him down. They want to get the roots in on towards him. Skeeter, he's going to get caught. He'll try and run away, but that's the Aegis gone. Onto the side, Marine. He's trying to stand his ground here against the 3 of them. Pops the BKB, punches back, brings down 9 class.
Nice
Satanic.
Fight.
He's going to try and retreat. He's still got the ult ready to press. He'll pop it, but there's nowhere really to run. He's going to try and get his way back to the base. Crit jumps in underneath him. They've got the control on Satanic. Satanic trying to heal up, but the damage comes in with the crits from Maureen. That's going to be Satanic gone.
That's buyback bots from Amar, so buyback on cooldown again.
So another buyback available from Satanic on PARIVISION. Falcons get the jump in onto no one. No quick follow-up. They definitely have to respect the fact that Troll could look to make that buyback play. Skeeter in on the range racks. Getting away with the push a little bit better this time round here in Game 2, Falcons. Still being very careful how they go about it. They will be able to take away this full second set of racks here down on the bottom.
Look what Mallory's been doing top in the meantime. The top tower is already dead just from these stupid trees.
Under attack.
Someone will have to deal with the base. It's going to be Amar. Can Falcons force out this Troll buyback? It'll be a pretty big win for them. Outside the base, though, they get the jump in. 9 classes, no one immediately in. On towards Crit. Sonic Wave comes through. Crit. He'll get taken down. Skeeter has to BKB and run.
Very low HP from that Sonic Wave.
I mean, that sort of move, though, should be enough to at least alleviate any sort of concern of having to use Satanic's buyback. He should be able to wait out the 20 seconds. Of course, this game not getting any easier for PARIVISION, now up against 2 lanes of the stronger creeps that Falcons have been able to summon, taking out those barracks. As we do see Falcons just taking those extra measures to be much more careful this game. It's absolutely working out. They get the range racks on the top, so only this melee racks now remains between PARIVISION and getting mega creeped. Big item pickups continue though, refreshers available across multiple heroes now. Refresher on no one, refresher on DM. So the high ground defense will still have a lot of strength to it on PARIVISION. And, well, they're ready to play on the aggressive. Black Hole naturally back off cooldown, so it's going to be this double Black Hole threat. They're ready to try and get out on the map and see if they can catch Falcons by surprise. Obviously, the big one to watch being if they can get the catch onto Amar.
Yeah.
His buyback's on cooldown. They can find this Slardar. They might just have the window to push all the way back into Falcons base themselves.
Very possible. And this 20k gold lead is not a real 20k gold lead. Malrine has a Moon Shard and an Octarine. Neither one of these really do anything. They're just for show. But the top racks are dying to these trees. They're almost getting megaed by them.
We'll have the backdoor protection kicking in at least, so able to deal with them. Definitely something that they have to be prepared for. A potential wrap move from Falcons. 16 minutes, let's see what we get. Of course, there's a couple of new neutral items on the block. We'll see if any of those do get selected here in this game. As
Ducalis just got his tier 4? Is that true?
I guess so. I guess because they've sort of been held in the base, right? And
Guess so.
not been able to get out of these creep camps.
Okay, so Satanic has his choices. He can take the Boda again. He
You
got
gotta take the
Audacious. He got Audacious.
Regalia or Audacious, surely. Go
Well,
all in.
you can take both. Audacious being the broken enchantment.
And the Regalia.
Going both is...
Do it. You got it, right? Unless he wants to get Spider Legs right.
Spider Legs is okay. Book of the Dead is okay just for vision. You can just throw them out and just see stuff.
Yeah, and he's going to do that. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so just go for sort of that counter pressure with the Book of the Dead.
So many Books of the Dead.
Oh, how many we got?
3 so far.
Did this item get any changes, the Book of the Dead?
No, it's just they
No.
got rid of some. They got rid of a couple good ones. They got rid of Helm and the Dying, obviously.
Yeah.
They put D's Nuts Blood Right on tier 5, but that one's like, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, we've got to see if DM's going to get that. Is DM going to get the D's in?
So Amar has a
big
choice of
black
wanting
holes.
D's Nuts if he wants it. There's the Illusion, the new Illusion one. It's like Illusionist Cape, basically. Like,
Yeah.
Like Giga Illusionist Cape.
Probably not good this game on it.
No, it's not.
No.
So he takes, he gets Audacious Regalia on Skeeter. So he does
Skeeter. Yeah, that's
mega damage.
a lot of damage. Watch out for this Wind Ranger.
And he got the Deso 2 on Snaking with the movement speed, so he's a speedy snake.
What did DM get? Is DM, what's he got?
DM took Book of the
He took
Dead
the book. Okay, he's got the book
with
as well.
Spell Amp.
Yeah,
So-
I guess understandable against this extra creep pressure that they're having coming in against them. Well, these treants pushing down lanes and the fact that they're 2 sets of racks down against Falcons.
Dukama's got a bunch of useless crap.
Oh. What's he take? Probably just the Minotaur, right? Oh, probably just takes the spider legs, don't you?
I mean, I think you take, does this team have Deso 2 yet? I think you take Deso 2 in case you win a fight
just
you have
get a-
for the push.
That's not a bad shout. We'll see what he does.
Amar is still deciding.
Rift Shadow Prism, what does that do, Quinn?
It's the
that is the
Illusionist
one.
Cave.
Yeah. So you're not taking that one.
It sounds really cool. He did not get Audacious. He did get, I'm surprised he hasn't just taken movement speed, but I guess he's already capped.
And so just because, so it creates illusion. Does it create illusion the same way like as a Manta, like it's also a Dispel?
No, I don't think so.
No, it just makes
it costs 10% of your health, but
Yep.
the illusion is 50% of your damage.
So pretty strong.
It's a pretty strong illusion.
Yeah. But and he takes
He does take it.
Okay. I mean, he could make to look some good plays and might be able to bait, if he's able to make some bait plays, right?
True.
If he can bait out a black hole,
It's also a scouting mechanism.
Yes.
Which is very important for both teams in this game.
yeah, honestly, there could be some big brain stuff from Amar if he can make some sort of illusion plays.
Yo, they're getting close. I'm not sure they're going to kill this in time. We're just running out of the pit.
Oh, and I tell you what, it does bait out a little bit there.
He can't right-click it yet.
They want to finish it, but they can't. And Satanic, he's ready and waiting for it as it returns to the pit. Amar's going to jump back in with the crush, but the kill and the agent's already been picked up by Satanic. The Wind Waker's going to be there from Amar, means that he dodges the black hole from DM. Refresher Shard still in the pit. Satanic trying to get back in. Can he sort of micro his inventory so he can get the pickup, though? He's getting low. That's going to be the Aegis gone.
Be careful, Skitter.
DM on the high ground. Does have the Refresher to play with if he wants to go for a second black hole.
Already took Mega Creeps.
They're going to jump back in. They're going to lasso in onto the two, and then that's going to be Skeeter and Snaking dead. Indeed, as you say, the rat has occurred elsewhere. Amar will get caught. So they get the Mega Creeps, but it does cost them a bit of a nasty loss of a team fight around the Roshan.
It does, and Skitter loses his Regalia, so he's got no tier 5 item for a long time. That's a big deal.
Big.
No more Audacious for you. Satanic, he did lose the Aegis in this fight, so the Aegis is gone, but Amar needs 30 gold for buyback. He will have it.
Okay.
But they may have to buy back on Wind Ranger. These Mega Creeps, it's late enough in the game that they can definitely deal with these. And this push, this is a scary push.
It is. It really is. Falcons, can they deal with this?
Still a black hole and a lasso.
Swift blink on Maori. The bracks are gone. Falcons, they don't want to use that Skeeter buyback.
Is this going to be a Megas versus Megas game?
I mean, do you let it be if you're Falcons and just not use these buybacks? What's the call?
Well, he doesn't have buyback on Slaughter yet. Something happened, but he doesn't have it. He still needs more gold.
They're still on cooldown anyway. 10 seconds until he has it. They get the grab here. There's a good double lasso, and there comes the black hole. They have to follow up. Immediately, Crit and Marin gone. Marin will buy back, but indeed, the Mega Creeps have been claimed. PARIVISION still hovering around outside the base. No one, he wants to get back in. He's going to jump aggressively over towards Snaking with a burst of the Sonic Wave. DM trying to move forward as well. Doesn't have any black hole to play with. So do have to be a bit careful. I mean, they got the objective there. They get the Mega Creeps. So indeed, we're the early days of the patch, Quinn, but we're already getting quite the treat here. We're getting a Mega Creeps versus Mega Creeps.
I don't remember the last time I've seen this. And now the lanes essentially reset to 0 if everyone's super.
Well, look at this.
No one is.
Up and down on the graph and straight back to a very close point now. I mean, who's going to take this?
I mean, now I think I think PARIVISION is favored now. This refresher on Enigma, these double lassos, it's so hard to deal with.
It really is.
If you get jumped, you just die 100-0. They have so many tools to kill you that Falcons, it feels difficult to actually kite now, and they don't even have a wave advantage anymore. They were building that slow racks advantage, got the megas, but this Roche fight, walking out of the pit cost them so dearly.
They couldn't finish it.
They couldn't. If he just shot it, it would have died, but Roche said, I'll see ya, go on a vacation for a little bit, peaced out. And he came back with a tan and got killed by Satanic instead.
Yeah, just absolutely set things up for PARIVISION to punch back. And, you know, Marin saw, sure, he went for that sort of move, gets the Mega Creeps, but now being Mega Creep themselves, you know, that sort of rat play just doesn't end up mattering too much now at this stage of the game. 67 minutes in, 4K gold difference. PARIVISION, can they close this up? And Falcons, can they find some way to get the victory? Because if they lose this one, both of these losses are gonna definitely hurt Falcons pretty hard with the way that they've both gone down.
They will. They had this game. They had it. They had the perfect map control.
Check this again.
Like, if he just blinked into the pit here, they would kill it. They were breaking the smoke. They knew they weren't there in time. Amar, with a rare mistake, causes this Roche to not die and just changes everything.
And what sort of aggroed it towards Mamar? Was he just inputting the ult on, or was it the crush?
It's because Skitter was invis.
Oh, yeah, of course, you're absolutely right. So
and he has no way to cancel his invis.
Yeah.
I mean, Skitter also could have not pressed win run. He needed to not press win run.
One of those rare situations where doing something less would have done something a whole lot more.
Sometimes, there's a lesson for those Twitch chatters. Sometimes it's good to not press your spells. So when those moments where you forget to cast your ultimate,
that's what I tell my teammates. They're like, you know, high-level plays.
Don't cast your spells. It's the new meta. There's a new patch, guys.
Well, that's where we go. Where we go next week. Close to having the time. I mean, who's looking to re-roll their neutral item?
Skitter for sure.
Yeah, he wants something new, of course, with the disgraced regalia.
He's got a sack of potatoes in his inventory slot.
Now that might do better than the disgraced regalia.
I think so. Could chuck them like the little snowballs for distraction.
Dude, maybe they should do that. Honestly, just for like, you know, just have the disgraced regalia turn into something that's just completely like cosmetic and looks pathetic. Just so we can have a bit of fun.
A wet noodle.
Yeah. PARIVISION. I mean, this was always going to be the concern. I feel like I've seen this from PARIVISION's lineup before when they have DM on the Enigma. It's like, at the end of the day, if the Black Hole has potential late game, it can just do so much. Even in these situations where, like last fight, he didn't hit the Black Hole. Yeah. But it's just so much that's going through the heads of Falcons in these fights that they're having to kind of overthink their positioning because of how much threat these double Black Holes can have. And in the mid, Amar, start to Wind Waker away, DM. He's going to drop the Black Hole, of course he will here. Grabs Amar, that's Amar gone. 9 class with the further step over Skitter. Skitter's going to be able to turn with the focus fire. Not enough damage to kill 9 class. He gets away alive.
Hand to God. Clutching up. That's 1 Black Hole down.
Okay. Do you go to force the buyback out if you're PARIVISION, or do you chill, check out the new round of neutrals?
I think you should probably try to force this buyback. The neutrals, they've already got some good ones. I don't really know if they care about replacing them that much.
That's true, actually. I mean, yeah, well, I guess Ducalis, right? He's the most unhappy with his.
Yeah, but even he's going to get a Book of the Dead. They've already got 14. What's up 15th? As the creeps surge in, and these Eidolons are no joke. They kill your base really fast with this 25. There's about 16 trillion of them.
Here we go. Indeed, onto the tier 4s, and that tier 4 indeed just gets destroyed very fast. Put them down onto the second one.
They don't have Glyph on Falcons right now.
Uh-oh. Check with the Mosquito. Again, having to be so careful of the refresh Black Hole play coming in. No one's going to jump forward. Has to BKB blink back out. They're trying their best here not to need to use the buyback on Amar. 20 seconds until he's back in.
Here come the Eidolons.
Eidolons and the Book of the Dead.
The catapult. The swarm.
A heavy push coming in. This tier 4, it's gone. The Ancient's exposed. 9 class tries for the jump of the side, but Skeeter's able to get out in time.
Thought this is Dota, not StarCraft, but PARIVISION has Zerg.
It's just slowly dying. I say slowly, he's half dead. They're ready to just finish it off. They brought the
Omar, you got buyback, brother.
He's back in the action now. He'll get the jump onto Satanic, but the Ancient is so low. They need to kill Satanic off quick. They're not going to get the chance. Continues with the Black Hole in there. Able to get the final bit of damage onto the Ancient. It's over. PARIVISION close up game 2. Take the series 2-0. I'll tell you what, Quinn, I think Maureen's got to be a bit more careful with his tips in the future, because ever since that tip